Progressive presents an interview with your upstairs neighbor.
Hi, I'm Tia. The upstairs-downstairs neighbor dynamic is so special. We have our own language. Like when I scream at my mom on the phone, the people downstairs bang on the ceiling to show their support. The nighttime's the best time to rearrange furniture. I call it midnight feng shui. And if I sleep through my alarm in the morning, they bang on my door to wake me. So thoughtful.
Progressive can't save you from your upstairs neighbor, but we can save you money when you bundle renters and auto insurance with us. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Bundle discount not available in all states or situations.
Imagine the greatest collection of real-life entertainment on the planet, all in one place. Go ahead. Dare to stream with Discovery Plus. Stream now. Stream what you love.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Christopher Media. Let's make some noise. From Asthma Core Studios near Detroit, Michigan. It's unregimented.
Gangsters, what's up, guys?
And now, here are your hosts.
It's 261. I'm Chris.
I'm Aaron.
I'm Rich.
And welcome to my bachelor party. Technically, this would be.
Oh, hey!
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yes. By the time the show posts, I will be getting married. But I get married in the morning. I think there's like a musical song about that. I think it's like My Fair Lady or some shit like that. But yeah, whatever. I figure this is fitting. This is what I would want to do. So hey, there we go. So number 41.
You want to spend your bachelor party talking about dead president?
Yeah, I know, right?
Well, it's better than throwing dead presidents at a stripper.
Exactly.
Yes.
Let's talk about dead presidents and keep the dead presidents in our wallets.
Right. So Pappy Bush was he the old, I know he was the oldest living president at the time, but has any president, I should say, lived longer than George Bush? He was 94 years old, is that correct?
Yeah. How the fuck old is Carter? He's got to be in his 80s, right?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Easily. I mean, he's always been old to me.
No, Jimmy Carter.
When I was a kid.
Is the
he is now the oldest living.
He's the oldest living, and he has the distinction of having the longest post presidency in U.S. history. He's currently at 37 years.
Yeah.
So yeah,
but George H.W., which I don't get. So was the H the same in Pappy Bush as it was in the son? That stand for the same thing, Herbert.
The son had W.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
he was right. George Walker Bush. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So the W was the same.
Yeah.
Right.
So where the fuck did Herbert come from?
I don't know, but I think George W. Bush fucked it up. He should have had a kid and named him George Bush, and then he would have a kid they just call Bush, I guess.
Bushy.
Right, they would continue to lose a name as they went down in generation.
And then his kid would be called Lil Shrub, and he'd be a mumble rapper.
Lil Shrub. which would be retro at that time.
Yes, that's true.
Okay, but yes. So George, what can we say about the elder Bush?
Did the Fresno State chick chime in on him, or no? Or she learned her lesson?
Oh, I remember what I was saying. Like we were saying about how old he was compared to Carter. George Bush had a pretty long career in politics before he even became vice president.
Isn't he?
And then was
one of the people who built Osama.
One of the people who built him.
Helped to build Osama. Like, wasn't he one of the people over there helping to train Osama back in the 80s against the Russians? And then...
Well, he was head of the CIA before he was vice president.
Yeah, and then we pieced out on him and went, all right, cool. You defeated the Russians. We're done. See ya. Wasn't he like the head of that or helped do that?
I couldn't tell you exactly if he was the head of that, but I mean, I'm sure he was involved.
Well, I mean, you can do what a lot of people have done since the man died. Go read his Wikipedia page, declare yourself an expert on everything Daddy Bush, and then take to the internet with your outrage or defense of him based on a 5-minute reading of a Wikipedia page. So, I mean...
Well, we know he's a war criminal, but we just assume, I mean, Every president is to some extent now, right?
Except for Carter. If you want to get right down to like technicalities, Carter's the only one who never committed a war crime,
right?
While sitting president. So,
to be fair, he had a lot of shit going on. He didn't have time to commit one. Like, he packed a lot into his 4 years as far as shit going on, domestically.
Yeah, he also made the mistake of coming out in one of his State of the Unions going, well, America doesn't look good. And America was like, we don't want honesty. Lie to us. Yeah. And we hired a bad actor to be president after him.
They only knew.
Well, him being vice president first and then becoming president, so essentially serving 12 years in the White House in total, right?
And he surprisingly only the second person to ever do that.
Thank you. Yeah.
That
was my point. Yes.
Way to shit on his point, man.
Well, I guess what I was getting at is when growing up, I guess I just assumed that was like a natural thing that happened often, that whoever was vice president was going to be as long as he won the presidency, he would be the next president. But I didn't realize how rare that actually was, even though, it's still attempted often, although, certainly Cheney didn't have any interest in running.
Well, because he already was president.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Right.
8 years was enough for him.
Cheney was like this.
Tough on the heart.
Cheney was like, I already ran this country for 8 years, and not one shoe was thrown at me. I don't need to be the guy that gets the shoe thrown at him because my old ass ain't dodging it. I mean, it's really what it was.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just such a weird position. It makes it even weirder to me that the position of vice presidency, if it's, certainly, you gotta
have a bench.
Yeah, there's Pence is the vice president now because he was their backup plan.
I can't believe that.
Right? But I don't think that Pence was chosen as vice president because then, if Trump went on to win 2020 and serve 8 years, that Pence would then run. I'm sure the Republicans would come up with somebody else by then. I would hope.
Trump's personality is so big.
8 years.
They had to just hold up like a rug and go find the human equivalent of this because we need that to balance out Trump.
Right.
And just in case he does do something.
Yeah.
Just in case he does do something really stupid and actually gets impeached. We need someone there to step in.
Yeah. Make sure he's competent, but he has to be if beige were a human being, that's what we need.
Well, we need the human equivalent of khakis.
Yes.
That's to make this all about Trump. But yeah, I think there was a fairly large portion of people in the Republican Party that were going, Trump is going to get himself impeached. And then we can have Pence. No, we want Pence because he's ultra conservative, but there's no way that we could run this guy and win him. So this is kind of sneaking him into the White House.
Yeah, this is what is, what's Carlin say? While you're watching a quiet one, a noisy one will fucking kill you. We're all watching the noisy one.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Meanwhile, Pence is sneaking in, hey, how's it going?
Whereas Pappy Bush was the quiet one, right? He was the kinder, gentler Republican.
1,000 points of light.
Yeah, he liked to talk about 1,000 points of light.
Well, he was so kind and gentle that Newsweek ran a cover calling him the wimp president.
And at the time?
Yeah. I remember that as a little kid. Well, middle school.
Right.
Yeah. And as the infamous Bill Hicks skit goes, that obviously stuck in his craw because he was like, wimp, huh? Okay. Gulf War came around. Hey, we declare war. Good. We're going to kill you. Right. We surrender. Not good enough.
Also, how pathetic are we? We actually get a real war hero in the office, and we call him a wimp because he doesn't talk tough enough. He doesn't have that cowboy swagger like Reagan did. eat a dick. Everyone, seriously, like whatever you think about George H.W. Bush as a president, or his policies, or just Republicans in general, the guy is a verified war hero.
Yeah.
And when's the last time we really had one of those in office? That was
Eisenhower.
Yeah, it would be Eisenhower prior to Bush.
Yeah,
interesting.
Yeah, well, Kennedy served on PT 109 or whatever, that PT boat in World War II when he was in the Navy, and I don't know what LBJ did. Nixon, nothing. Carter, nothing I remember. Reagan, bad actor. Clinton, couldn't inhale.
Yeah.
Bush, male cheerleader.
Yeah.
Obama, community organizer.
Clinton was fucking fat chicks and smoking trees.
Clinton was the 1960s and 70s version of Jody. He was at home taking care of the women left behind. I feel your pain, soldiers. I also feel the inside of your girlfriend, but
on a regular basis.
Well, I mean, he was kind of a different president for the Republican Party, but I think he was just riding that wave of Reagan popularity at the time.
I've seen a lot of headlines this week. They've called him Trump with manners.
Trump with manners. That's interesting. How does he compare to Trump? I mean,
I didn't click on him because they were retarded.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, like they're coming up on Google News, but they were coming up from like HuffPo, Politico. I mean, yeah, they were coming up. Vox. I mean, people that generally have an axe to grind with the Trumpster.
Well, he managed to leave the planet without being properly Me Too'd.
Yeah.
We considered it, and then I think collectively just went, are we really going to do this? Like, the guy's like half out of his mind and in a wheelchair, and he's going to be gone soon.
Yeah, and that's like, it's like, for how long? How many months? For how many months are we going to exile this guy?
On top of that, do you really want to be the female sitting
in the press conference?
Being deposed, talking about, I was deathly afraid of a 93-year-old man with dementia in a wheelchair, that he was going to physically force me to perform a sex act on him.
David Copperfield.
Right. I mean, it's disturbing to think of, but there's even like fathers who get old enough and go through and become like completely senile and have like what's it called? I guess maybe it's me.
Early onset Alzheimer's?
Alzheimer's. Thank you. That's the word I was trying to think of. Like they will completely forget who their family is to the point where they'll hit on their own daughters.
Oh yeah, my grandfather, when he had Alzheimer's, him and my grandmother had been split up before I was born. And I think the last time they'd seen each other before they saw each other this time was 15 years, maybe more. Right. Maybe 20 even. And my grandfather's sitting there and he's staring at my grandmother. My grandmother's like kind of every once in a while shoot him a look and be like, ugh. You know, he's just disgust. And then finally my uncle who took care of my grandfather said, Dad, why do you keep staring at Ma? And he's like, who? He goes, my mother right there. He goes, that's a very pretty woman. I haven't met her before. And he goes, oh, yes, you have. You got 3 kids to prove you have. At least 3 times you met her. And my grandmother was like, oh, please. Like, don't even try it. Do not even try it, Lester. And I was like, oh, wow. Grandma shut him down. All right. So, yeah, I've actually seen it happen. Look, it's never cool to grab anybody's ass against their will. But if you're in a wheelchair and you don't know who the fuck you are and salt and sugar kicks your ass, I'm not saying that's an excuse, but it's like, how hard is it to just literally take that withered, paper-thin, skinned hand, move it off your ass, put it in her lap, and say, do it again, I'm going to rearrange your face. And that's the end of it. All right? And you're not going to get much. He's not going to stand up and get into a Jean-Claude Van Damme Bloodsport pose on you. All right? It's not going to happen. So, and I mean, you'd be surprised how much bullshit happens with people with dementia in the places they're in. Like the nonsense that goes on, people walking around naked. Oh, yeah. You're like, Mr. So-and-so, Mrs. So-and-so, you got to put some clothes on. They just keep walking, completely oblivious to anybody talking to them.
I'm not a particularly inhibited person right now. I hate to see what I would act like if I was if I lost my what have you.
I think you would lean into it like during that period where you know you're losing your mind, but you still have moments of clarity. But then you have moments where you're like, wait a minute, what was I just doing?
Right.
Like I think you'd lean into it a little bit.
There'll still be a little bit of a devil in me going, "This is your chance. You can get away with it."
Yeah, go up to like little children and be like, "Fuck you! You should have been a blowjob." Flip them off and shit. And
I would phase out pants and just blame it on that shit. Like, oh shit, it's crazy. Just because, like, fuck it, dude. I'm old. I don't want to bend over, put on my pants anymore, dude.
Walking to McDonald's in your boxers.
It's hard to put on my pants. I'm old.
So you have to have pants to come in. Yeah, it's crazy. Alzheimer's. What are you going to do? Anyway, can I get a Big Mac?
Hey, listen. Bottom line, my junk is covered. I know that's what the concern is in here. My junk and my beehole are covered. Can I get an Egg McMuffin?
And considering that most of your touch screen panels have poo all over them,
yeah,
my butthole hanging out is the least of your concerns at this moment.
Yeah.
Well, no, I thought it was very interesting that I was surprised with as it wasn't even-handed by any stretch of the imagination on NPR's part.
Mm-hmm. The coverage of the funeral.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, and the commentators and stuff. It wasn't 50-50. It wasn't both sides equally represented, but it was way more even-handed than I thought. And I couldn't help but think this is because of Trump in the White House now. Like, there was literally a Democrat that's like, I never thought I'd say this. I kind of wish for the days of a Republican president like we had with 41. And I'm like, oh, my God.
Right. Somebody who was like a joke at the time. And maybe, again, I was young. I wasn't really paying attention to politics at the time. I just knew who the president was. And I knew how they made fun of him on SNL.
Yeah, Dana Carvey, he was not going to do it.
Right.
All that shit.
But
remember when he puked?
I mean, there's a reason why.
Puked on what, like the Japanese prime minister?
He was over there eating sushi like, didn't I bomb you motherfuckers in a war?
Honestly, they had to have gained him points with mainstream America. Like, a president puked, he was eating Japanese food. Oh, well, good. It was, probably just a natural reaction.
All those rednecks, like, that's what happens when you eat that raw fish.
Right.
You got to catch it. I tell them all the time, got to catch it. You got to cook it.
Well, I mean, puke while eating sushi or choke on a peanut. Like, what would you rather have? I'll take the puking while eating sushi. As far as a good story to tell.
Well, yeah. I mean, you're talking because you're talking about when W choked. It was a pretzel he supposedly choked on while watching football.
I thought it was a peanut. How do you choke on a pretzel?
I don't know. Maybe Oliver Stone changed it. Like because in the movie W, I swear he was eating pretzels when he started choking on it. But there might have been a peanutting from the grassy knoll in that movie, and I just didn't catch it. But
he was seeing how many pretzels he could chew up and not swallow, and just make this huge ball in his mouth.
like any 5-year-old kid would.
Right. Watch this.
But no,
I'm gonna chew all these up and I'm gonna whip them at Cheney.
Where's that black bitch that's always standing by me dancing? Let me throw this at her. You mean Condoleezza Rice? Oh, bullshit! That ain't her name. There ain't no such person as Condoleezza Rice. That's what I ordered when I got a number 6 at the Chinese restaurant.
Yeah.
But no, when he had that bruise on his face, I was hoping for some epic story where he went on a bender.
His ass.
Yeah, he went on a bender and his wife caught him and just beat his ass. Like, put that bottle of Jack Daniels down. You're the president. God damn it. And just no. I was watching Texas.
W came to visit from college and brought a 8-ball. Shit got crazy.
Oh God. But yeah, it was
the last one-term president.
Yeah, there's been 2 in my lifetime, so that odds are looking good for Trump.
Yeah.
I was shocked at the what do you call it? like I said, as even-handed as NPR was, but I was also kind of shocked at how even his detractors, his naysayers, were quick to point out that like this is the last president that we're ever going to have that came out of that like World War II Greatest Generation era.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and that's something that I
should hope so. Unless we start electing heads in jars.
I know, right? Some Futurama shit or something, but
the head of Nixon. I'm back, bitches.
That I was just shocked because these are relatively young people. Most of them sounded our age or even younger than us saying this, and it's like, I mean, you have respect for a generation that came before you. How did that happen?
How do you know about them? It existed before you.
Exactly. First of all, how do you know about them? And second of all, this is the generation that released the pro-rape song "Baby, It's Cold Outside." So I mean, that means they're all evil, right? So,
and you know, when you read them on paper, it is weird. When you see them written out,
the lyrics,
yes,
yeah.
You're like, this guy's like plowing this chick with booze. I mean, I get it, but
wait a minute.
But if you've ever watched like a movie
song,
if you ever watched a movie from the 50s, you get it.
Wait a minute, but hold on.
You know what's going on.
But I imagine like Bill Cosby singing it at this point.
But I'm sure he sang it. Wasn't it a Dean Martin song?
As in what? Like he
sang it. He sang it. Dean Martin sang that song. Because Dean Martin's whole persona was very ICP-ish. Oh, I'm the drunk rat packer, and it was part of his shtick. If you're with Dean Martin, you're going to get drunk. Doesn't matter who you are. Even Frank got sloppy drunk. Sammy lost his eye one time because he partied too hard with fucking Dean Martin. All right? I mean, that was Dean Martin's thing. His live albums would open up, and he'd sing a line, stop, and he'd go, how long I've been on? Can I go to the bar yet? And then he keeps singing the song. That was part of his shtick.
If he's smart, he'd have made a bartender part of his on-stage gig.
Okay, so at the time, if you were to be so forward as to ask a woman to stay with you, and she was like, oh, hell yeah, and immediately started unbuttoning her shirt, you'd have a lot of thoughts about that. And you might even just go,
all of them
you know what?
In needing a towel.
No,
someone's going to need a towel.
What I'm saying is, like, that would not be considered normal behavior for a woman at that time, and you would be suspect of that behavior. You would think, oh, she's just a slut. And so it was just natural for women to demur, to, play hard to get. And that's what the song's about. She can't come out and say, like,
I want the dick.
Right.
It's not okay. She has to have a few drinks, and it's like, oh, it's crazy. All of a sudden, I'm a hose beast. Fuck me, daddy.
So 2018, you just got to come out and say you want the dick?
Well, 2018, we got Tinder hose.
Well, I'm saying, like, they're playing part of the game. Same game we still play with our porn today. We're like, this is this 18-year-old's first time, and she's like riding the dick anally.
Yes.
And she's got a tattoo and a C-section scar, and you're like, oh yeah,
I know a dick that's as big as a dick that's as big, long, and around as a midget's leg. Yeah, and it's to the balls in her ass.
Yeah, first time.
She's fucking herself in the front hole with a baseball bat. This is my first time ever doing this.
I'll buy that for 10, 15 seconds. However long you need to buy this for.
Right.
First of all, I don't want anybody that's first. I don't want anybody's first or last. Here, you show up at my house fully trained.
Last?
All right? That's what I want.
Who have you been fucking? Jesus.
No, that's my way of saying I don't ever want to be married again. Sorry. I was trying to keep it nice. You're getting married tomorrow. Damn it.
keep it positive.
Unless y'all got a really progressive relationship, that's the last cereal change you get at breakfast for the rest of your life. So I'm happy with it.
I've made peace with it.
It's like, can I get some sugar in my cornflakes? No. All right. Okay, I'll just eat them plain again.
She's pro porn, so I mean, right on.
Oh no, dude! If she's sex positive like that, more power to you.
Yeah,
I couldn't marry I couldn't marry a woman. I couldn't be in a relationship with a woman who, if I turned on a porn, was like, oh my god, ew. I'd be like, bitch, you got to go.
No, I guarantee you, Her ex-hamster history is weirder than mine. I fucking guarantee it. First of all, he's Pornhub, like a human being,
Yeah, ex-hamsters for freaks, man.
Ex-hamster's all right. It's you go there when you've been on Pornhub a little too long, and you're like, all right, you've hit the loop, so you go to ex-hamster.
No. Both of you were wrong. It's when you have an actual account at efucked.com that you know that you've gotten into some very strange porn corners. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You ever gotten down your
I'm not aware of that one.
You ever gotten to like the 5th or 6th page in your Pornhub and go, how did we get here? Like, this is what it's bringing up, in the later pages. Like, wait,
right.
You started at point A, now you're at point J.
Wait, I've seen this. I've been to this page before.
But there's looking to jerk off. When I'm looking to jerk off, that's when I'm looking for like porn that I'm gonna take serious enough to bust a nut. Then there's I've busted a nut. Let me find the most ridiculous, outlandish shit I can.
I've never done that. I don't want it ruined for me.
Anyway, George Bush.
I know, right? You appreciate that transition.
I honestly don't know what else to say about the dude, though.
To me, everything to say has happened at the funeral. I mean, have you guys seen the still pictures of like they do the obligatory? You got to seat all the presidents and first ladies together, and it's just Michelle Obama is just side eyeing Trump, like, Lord help me not smack the white off this motherfucker. Like, I mean, she just looks like every angry black mom I've ever seen looking at one of her children at church, like, I'm gonna beat.
I heard her and W had a thing going on again. Like W gave her something.
I saw the handoff. I thought she was giving candy to him again.
Here you go, little boy. I know you're confused by what's going on. Daddy's just asleep for a very long time, little boy. Don't worry.
No, he's like Phil Dunphy on Modern Family. He secretly got a thing for black chicks.
He doesn't. No. First of all, it ain't secret. He's got a thing for her. I swear to God, I've never seen a grown man who at one point had as much power as that man did be so smitten like a fucking 13-year-old boy with his first crush as I have George Bush every time he's around Michelle Obama. And at this point, Barack is just like, I don't even care anymore.
We have to know.
Is he going to be worried?
Yeah, I know. You're like, what are you going to do? Show up with that thing? Come on, W. Right. You ain't bringing the thunder like I am. All right?
I wonder.
What is this on your dress? Pretzel dust?
You know how they always have to, like, when one president comes out, another one goes in, there's always like a gift exchange, right? Maybe we got to see what like they gave each other when the Bushes and Obama switched from the White House. I know it's taking a turn for Rachel, but did she give him like a pie or something? Like, and maybe it's like the best thing he ever ate or something like that. I don't know. I have to think we have to figure out that gift. Maybe therein lies the key.
She gave him a Valentine that said, "I choose you."
Yeah.
And he's been smitten ever since. He's walking around like, it says, "I choose you."
Yeah.
He went home and practiced his two-step in front of the mirror.
Oh, Lord.
I'm going to ask Michelle to the barn dance.
Like every time he hears there's a Sadie Hawkins dance, he gets his hopes up. Like he's always disappointed. That call never comes. Like, one day it'll ring and it'll be Michelle. Oh God.
Fantasizing about the two of them wearing matching flannels with the sleeves off.
Chewing on some hay and shit. Holding hands. And like every 13-year-old, he's not really sure how sex works, so he just thinks they're gonna lay in bed like just content next to each other and shit, and like that's his daydreams about her.
He's dreaming about rolling in the hay, like literally just rolling in the hay.
Oh man.
Like he's like, "Hey, Hey, Michelle, feel my muscles. That's foreplay. Oh, Jesus. Oh, man. But, it was funny because, and then there was the whole, I guess, they were singing some hymn or some shit. And everybody had their hymnal books out, and Trump's just standing there.
Oh, yeah, it was a prayer, which I saw that, and I didn't give a shit. Like, everyone knew that. Everyone said the Apostles' Creed except Trump.
That's what it was.
That's someone who doesn't go to church, obviously.
Right. I didn't know what a fucking Apostles' Creed was. I thought they were talking about Rocky.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say, didn't he die in Rocky IV? Apostles' Creed got its ass whooped by that big fucking Russian dude.
But apparently everybody else knows this shit, or it was just written down and they cared enough to like read it, or could read it.
Well, there was also another picture that when they were actually bringing the coffin forward, everybody had their hand over their heart, and Trump's standing there with his hands folded in front of him, and he's the only person in the picture doesn't have his hand over his heart. And of course, all the but wait a minute, isn't this the guy that said that NFL players not standing for the national anthem and kneeling when the flag's presented was disrespectful? And I'm just like, it's Trump. Who believes anything he says at this point? Like, seriously, how? He's a pathological liar. Everything he says is bullshit. You truly think he means this shit? No. Why do you take anything he says seriously and expect him to back it up with his actions? I have no idea. None whatsoever. I'm with you, Chris. It's like, yeah, well, that's what a heathen that doesn't go to church does. He doesn't know what to do and when to stand and when to read from the book and the hymnals and all that shit.
Right. I mean, like, he didn't whip out his phone at any point. I give him points.
He didn't send an angry tweet, like, so bored. How long is this thing? We've been here.
I thought when Catholics died, they got long-winded. Jesus,
Oh, I'm watching right now when Georgie met Michelle. What's in that box? Oh, I'm like Brad Pitt. What's in the box? She handed Laura Bush something. Sorry. All right.
Wait, is this from the funeral or what are you watching?
From 2009.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Michelle gave Laura a box, and then that's it. But I'm seeing one the first time that they met. He looked pretty pumped in the picture they just took. They stood next to each other?
Which just kind of goes to prove my point that he's so dumb that he doesn't get that he's around people who don't care for him. And it's like he's so his short bus special class enthusiasm is so contagious that people that would have every reason to hate him finally are just like, God, I like that stupid motherfucker.
It's like, the last few years we're like, oh, look, he's painting. It's like a retarded kid made a project or something.
Like we're going to hang it on the national refrigerator. It's a finger painting with Michelle's name spelled right, his name spelled wrong. Like the White House dog is 5 times the size of the White House, and
yeah.
Like this is very creative, Georgie, very creative.
The R is backwards in his name.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, I mean, but what is there really to say? Look, if you know anything about George Bush's history, he was head of the CIA. Do you really need to go much further than that? No one who was head of the CIA is without sin. All right, the man did some shady shit in his life. On top of that, he was a politician. He was the head of the CIA and a politician. Plenty of dirt to be dug up on the man.
I mean, he said some shit.
Yeah. I mean, so it's kind of, to me, it's like, the people who want to give them sainthood, it's like, oh, just shut up. Mm-hmm. We went through this with Reagan. We went through this with fucking Nixon when Nixon died. And I was like, really?
Pappy Bush's crimes go all the way back to trying to squash the investigation into Spiro Agnew.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's fucking almost 50 years ago. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's plenty of shit to dislike the man for, besides the fact that he was president and would belong to a political party you don't agree with. Like, legitimate reasons to not like the man. Besides, well, he was just an evil Republican. Fuck him.
He brought war to the 24-hour news cycle.
Yeah, but, everyone's got to get their opinion in, regardless of what it is. I mean, when Obama dies, there's going to be a lot of people talking about, but drone strikes.
See, that's why I'm glad that there's like 4.5 years of proof that I've been saying that shit for fucking for the last 4.5 years. So when he's dead, you can just dig up the one tape of the old show and be like, "Oh, actually, Rich said that shit when he was still president." So,
right,
fuck off. I'm not a Johnny Come Lately. But that's the thing. While it's irritating for people to come out of the woodwork and, like I said, like literally read a Wikipedia page in 5 minutes, think they're an expert, and start trying to spout off like they have a PhD in history or something. It is kind of refreshing that these are human beings. These are fucked up, flawed human beings, and death doesn't have to make angels of us all. Like, can we evolve past that as a species? The problem is some people just shoot right past it doesn't make angels of us all, right to let's demonize the motherfucker for. I heard one time he accidentally kicked his dog. Horrible person. It's like, there's plenty of legit reasons to hate him. Seriously. Like, one of the things that NPR was talking about was he planted the seeds of his own demise at the Republican National Convention in '88 with 6 words: read my lips, no new taxes. And then what did he do? He raised taxes and implemented new taxes.
Mm-hmm. Broke a promise.
And
it's Cardinal Sins politician.
Yeah, it was how he made the promise that sealed his fate. Because that was it. Listening back to the speeches they had, the clips of speeches they had over the week of him, he wasn't a very commanding, like, definitive, authoritative voice. He didn't use that type of voice when he spoke.
Mm-hmm.
But that, read my lips. No new taxes. Like, he said that shit with some bass in his voice. Like, he was saying it like he meant that shit.
With that Hillary pentameter in his voice.
Yeah. Pre-Hillary. Yes.
Yeah. Gave her a blueprint of how to speak.
And that kind of, did him in with people in his own party, because that's like, hey, wait a minute. You can't make a promise like that and go back on it. That and Ross Perot siphoning votes off from people who were from Bush by people who were upset by him going back on his word.
Mm-hmm.
That's what basically allowed Clinton to win, which is something that I feel quite often in, at least like when in popular culture, when the 92 election is talked about, is never brought up enough, in my opinion. Like, Ross Perot had what, like 10% of the vote? Something like that? Can you imagine a third party or an independent candidate these days getting 10% of the vote? If libertarians got 10% of the vote in a presidential election, they would declare that a victory.
Yeah.
Like,
they'd start bringing shit to the White House. You can't, no, you didn't win. No, it's good enough for us.
We're going to move into the gatehouse of the White House.
Yeah.
We're coming up like George and Wheezy. We're almost there. We can see the promised land.
Mm-hmm. We're going to live in the basement with a bowling alley.
I mean, now, even though he got that much of the vote, he got none of the electoral vote. So, I mean, that it didn't matter ultimately. But the fact that many people voted for him over Clinton or Bush, and most of them most likely would have voted for Bush.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think it was mostly Bush supporters that are being siphoned off.
Yeah. So it's just from a historical standpoint, that's a pretty overlooked part of that election. And, I was very shocked and glad that NPR brought it up. Like, yeah, it was a perfect storm of bullshit that he set himself up for. That speech at the '88 Republican National Convention, going back on his word he gave during that speech, and then the whole Ross Perot thing. And that's how we ended up with Slick Willie for 8 years. Which, I mean, I did real well during Slick Willie's years, so I don't know. I never left a job and took another job that I made less or the same amount of money at during that period.
Slick Willie begat Hillary, which then so basically it's all Trump's all his fault. Is that what we're getting at here?
Right?
We're going to connect those dots.
Thanks, number 41. Thanks a lot.
Well, I got to wonder how much longer it is before people start saying, like, oh, Hitler? Oh, he was the Trump of his time. Man, he was a bad dude.
Yeah.
You know, I got to start wondering
People
how
with
long
no
until-
perspective will be saying that shit.
Yeah, because, you know, according to some people, we have worse than Hitler in office right now.
Yeah, right. He did. Anyone who's saying that isn't Jewish.
Yeah. Or isn't, yeah, exactly. When Trump stands up and says, everybody who's not blonde-haired, blue-eyed, of pure Aryan blood, take a step back. Okay, everybody who is blonde-haired, pure, you know, blue-eyed, of pure Aryan blood, come on over here. Mow the rest of these people down. Then we can start talking about he's worse than Hitler. I mean, he doesn't even have a body count even approaching, even close to it yet.
But if you guys heard the Bill Hicks, the Bill Burr routine about why is Hitler the benchmark? Because if you're going by numbers, why aren't we talking about Stalin?
Right.
Why aren't we
Or
talking,
Mao.
Yeah, why aren't we talking about Chairman Mao? What does he say? Oh, he said his thing about Mao is like those are padded stats because of how many people there are in China.
Those are fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Trying to make a comeback, and they still didn't come back stats. They don't count. Yeah. Yeah, they look good on a piece of paper, but yeah, it doesn't really count. 100 million. There's like, how many billion Chinese? It's just a small dent. Come on, let's be honest. Well, I mean,
I think it's the mustache, man. That's the X factor.
It's the mustache and the mania.
The only,
the fervent speeches.
I think that's something that he shared with
maybe the wardrobe.
A lot of other totalitarian leaders of the time. I think that was the one thing that made him stand out. It's marketing, man.
There was definitely a stylist in Hitler's camp. There was a stylist. Hey, there's going to be stars, both good and bad.
Yeah, but I mean, he killed.
We're going to have a handshake.
He killed a mustache for everybody but Michael Jordan.
I know, right?
Like, Michael Jordan is the only person who still can rock a Hitler stash and not catch hell for it. And it's probably just because most people don't realize he has it when they watch them Hanes commercials.
Well, he killed it for all white guys. Like, no white guy can ever have that mustache
Michael Jordan.
ever
I think he had like a chocolate donut or something.
Yeah.
I didn't want to say anything because it's fucking Michael Jordan. What are you going to do?
Like, hey, Mikey, I think you got some sprinkles on your upper lip. I want to brush them off. Oh, no. Sorry, that's your mustache.
Oh,
okay.
Oh, all right. Sorry, Mike. Sig Heil. Carry on.
But yeah, it overall, I like I said, I was like, all right. It was fairly. It went a little bit better than I expected, because the minute he died, I was just like, oh, here we go. Every fucking idiot and his mother's going to come out for the next 72 hours with every bullshit. You know, I was waiting for the memes that haven't been fact checked, that are misspelled, you know, and making claims about shit that never happened. And it was just pretty much like your standard vitriol that you get from people on opposite sides of the political spectrum.
George R. Bush.
Yeah, someone like tweet out like, "God damn it! Now we'll never find out how Game of Thrones really ends." Like, that's not the same guy, stupid. But yeah, it pretty much stayed fairly non. You know, it didn't wander into the nonsense world and just like set up a fucking tent. Like it wandered over there. It was like, it's really shitty over here. Let's go back over here and just take pot shots at each other from the sidelines like usual. And of course, all the arguments, you start reading the comments on any article, and all the arguments by like the 10th comment have de-evolved into Trump, Hillary. And I'm like,
of course.
Damn. You know what I'm saying?
How long did it take for Obama to come up? Like,
Hillary, except for when I'm in the comment sections anymore, like, there's certain commenters, you can tell they have a problem with Obama because he was black, and so they bring him up as soon as possible. But for the most part, Hillary is like, gets most of the focus of their hate.
She's like the Kevin Bacon of hate. You know.
Yeah, 6 degrees of Hillary.
We can get to Hillary in 3 moves on this thread.
But yeah, I don't know. It's weird because I just expected more, but maybe this is the flip side of, you do have a generation who yeah, this is a stereotype about millennials, and the majority of them keep proving it right time and time again, whether they mean to or not. They really don't have that great of a grasp on history. They just really don't. And maybe that kind of softened the blow that they could have landed because they just didn't, I don't know much about them.
Maybe we start teaching history through Snapchat and Instagram. That's how you get.
Well, I mean, is the History Channel, does it even teach history anymore? Is it all bullshit like Mythbusters or some crap like that?
Well, I know the joke was, at least when we were, around the time we met, Rich, wasn't the joke about, it was always a Hitler-related show?
Yeah, it's the World War II channel.
Yeah, it's Hitler weekend.
It's Hitler week here on History Channel.
Yeah. Oh, it's the third week of April. You know what that means.
Actually, if we're being more accurate, it's Hitler decade here on the History Channel.
Yeah.
But I mean, I remember at that time expecting, okay, by the time we're the age we are now, they'll be focusing, they'll just have gotten past the Korean War, and the focus will be on the Vietnam War. No, now it's like every other cable channel. It's bullshit reality shows and nonsense that has hardly anything to do with what the channel was originally launched to be. Because, well, that's what gets ratings. Who was it? P.T. Barnum said no one ever went broke, underestimating the stupidity of the American people. There you go. History, that's what I went to school for. Why would I want to? I don't want to watch TV, do any learning.
Yeah, TV's when school's over.
I want to see Gordon Ramsay cussing somebody out on the History Channel.
Yeah.
How do those two things even go together? But I do think there is something to the fact that most, especially the younger millennials, they don't really remember Bush. They were either under 10 or
not here.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't remember Carter in office. I know he was president.
Yeah,
but I don't remember him.
Right. I was present. I existed for the last 8 months of Carter. About it.
Yeah, and I was 4 when he got out of office. So, I mean, like I said, he's always been a ex-president to me.
Yeah. His presidency is just something that I saw in news clippings and retrospectives.
And heard stories about, oh man, we had to wait in line for gas when Carter was president. It was bad. That's about it. That's about all I ever heard about him.
Yeah, the energy crisis, the Iran hostage situation. Because of that shit, it's why we have security at the airport.
I mean, but it is kind of fucked up when you think about it. I mean, Daddy Bush did have quite a legacy to leave behind. Yet I think the history books are definitely going to reflect more of his son's legacy. The son that, by the way, no one in that family thought would amount to anything.
Mm-hmm. They gave him a baseball team to run to keep him busy. Here.
And he traded away Sammy Sosa.
Yeah. Here, play with this. Don't fuck shit up.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, Jeb Bush is going, Jesus Christ, I was the good one. What the fuck, now I'm just low energy Jeb for the rest of my life.
That's it. Then run in with a schoolyard bully, and he's low energy Jeb. That's it. That's it for you, buddy.
Well, I think that has a lot to do with the era that they presided over, more so than anything that they particularly did during their presidencies, respectively. The junior Bush oversaw a time of great change in this nation. And you couldn't say that for his father. We were pretty much coasting.
Yeah, but you'd be surprised how many people, because there was an article going around saying how many people couldn't tell you who was president when the Berlin Wall fell. A lot of people said Reagan. No, it was Bush 1.
Yeah,
right.
It started in '89. Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's just like, W kind of gets everything about 9/11 falls on his shoulders, even though everything that led up to 9/11 was on the Clinton watch.
Well, but what I'm saying is, certainly there was change in the world during the elder Bush's period, but that change was just kind of confirming what America's beliefs were about itself. We were right? We persevered. The Berlin Wall coming down didn't change America. It just made us go, we were on the right side the whole time, and this just proves it. Whereas, 9/11 and the and everything that happened after that, both domestically and internationally. I mean, there was a lot of cultural change in this country under the Junior Bush, way more so than there was under his father.
Yeah, it was the rise of the internet under W. You know
that too. Yeah,
I mean, it came to, or I should say, of the internet culture, or the rise of the internet really was the Clinton presidency. But as far as the internet culture, your social medias and such, that whole fun new part of society that showed up under W. That cultural sea change, if you will.
I don't see that as a cultural change, though. It's just a technological change that put a magnifying glass on aspects of our culture that we like to think that we could just keep in the shadows.
Yeah, but it added. I mean, I guess it added the component of everybody gets to give their opinion on everything. Before, we did not have that ability. You just kind of like kept it to yourself, or you said it to your friends, and that was it. And it like with things like Twitter and Facebook, you know, and whatever the hell else. It to me, that's where that came from. It showed up under W, where now everyone has a voice, and we've learned not everyone should.
I just thought of this, but I'm really kind of shocked we haven't heard more from the conspiracy theory bunch, because Bush was the first president to ever say the words "New World Order," and that really started the whole, Illuminati. There's a what is it? A dark government that actually runs the world behind the scenes. And I mean, even like, the whole 1,000 points of light, and you even touched on earlier, kinder, gentler president, but yet, how is that immortalized in most people's minds that even remember that statement? It's rocking in the free world. It's Neil Young. We got a kinder, gentler machine gun hand.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, Bush, I remember clearly Bush talking about New World Order. Ministry built a whole song around that drop. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of shocking now that I think about it. Where are all the conspiracy theorists like, yeah, he was right at the top, the head of the Illuminati, and the Bilderberg group, all the key words, buzzwords that you hear from these people when someone like this dies. You haven't really heard anything. So it's just, that's kind of shocking, I guess, now that it just dawned on me while we're talking about it. I'm like, wow, the tinfoil hatters have been rather quiet on this.
Yeah.
They tell you that's supposed to happen.
Well, it kind of makes me wonder, like, maybe he really doesn't have that much of a legacy. The CIA is supposed to be like, like Marine recon. If they were there, they pretty much failed their mission. The CIA isn't the FBI. They're not out there like, hey, we busted them. They do things clandestine behind the scenes.
Yeah, I think his legacy is in his career in politics. It's not necessarily defined by his presidency. That was just coasting off of Reagan.
Yeah. But I think you can't bring up his name without thinking about Iraq. I mean, the whole conflict with Iraq is from Daddy Bush.
Yeah, and you're right. He did have his, because, he did set the stage, whether he was head of the CIA when it was happening or not. He set the stage for a lot of what came afterwards, with the CIA working with people like Osama bin Laden against the Russians, et cetera, et cetera. But I mean, I think it's very simplistic to just lay the blame of everything for that at his feet. There was a lot of cooks in the kitchen fucking that meal up. That got us to the point that, we're at now.
They threatened Kuwait, and we were like, hey, no way, we got a lot of money over there. Fuck it, sure not to fuck with that. What we're back to? Not good enough.
Yeah, I wonder how many votes he lost to Perot based on not just his reversal on taxes, but the idea that he didn't actually finish the job in Iraq the first time around.
Yeah, because I do remember a lot of chicken hawk, civilians talking about, why didn't we just keep pushing into Iraq and take out Saddam?
Right.
To Bush's credit, when it was brought up to him, he was like, "You people have no idea what you're wanting. That's a lot more involved than you think it is."
Right. Well, it's a corner that you paint yourselves in going to war, right? You're like, we've got to take this guy out because he's too unstable. He's crazy. We can't leave him in power. And then you got to come back and go, like, we've reached an agreement with the crazy man who we couldn't leave in power. Right?
We couldn't negotiate with.
Right. Like, we have to start a war because we can't negotiate. And then all of a sudden you can negotiate it with them. Like, all right.
Well, I mean, hey, it's not an original quote on my end, but, war is easy to get into, hard as hell to get out of.
Yeah.
And to Bush's credit, he didn't push us into Iraq and start the quagmire a decade earlier than it did start eventually. But I mean, the only way you can blame him is you can't really blame him. You got to blame his nutsack for that one. Like, yeah, your sperm produced the kid that got us into that bullshit. I mean,
he set the table for that with the conflict.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Bush was one of the last presidents who, like, he was like, I'm comfortable dealing with people like Saddam because they keep their people in check. I'd rather have a totalitarian or authoritarian dictator in there than have a bunch of religious zealots running the country. I mean, because that's really what happened when we took Saddam out. Mm-hmm. I mean, I remember people like, yeah, we got him. And 2 years later, it was,
Now what?
Yeah, and, it's, crazy ass Muslim leaders in there getting taken over and strong arming their way to power. And, it's not even half as civilized as it was under Saddam, which is saying quite a lot. It's almost like an evolutionary step back to the Dark Ages. Like, oh, you got caught drinking? Kill him. You're gay? Yeah. Throw him off the top of a building.
Didn't show up for a dentist appointment? Jail.
Jaywalking? Death.
Yeah.
Death is the punishment for everything. So, yeah, I mean, I think he was like one of the last presidents because Clinton gave it lip service, but I don't, like, we did shit, but it was like Black Hawk Down shit. It was like, too little, more of like, we're going to do this and hope it makes enough of a statement to where people will just let it lie. And on top of that,
right, in Bosnia.
Yeah, he was Bosnia, Serbia.
Like the whole Milosevic situation. And then there's also whether this is legit or not, there's people perceive it as it was a wag the dog situation. Like, oh shit, I fucked this intern with a cigar and blue nut on her dress. I better bomb somebody.
Bosnia. Yeah.
Yeah, like just like blindfolded, threw a dart at the map of the world. Like, wait a minute, where'd that land? Toronto? Can't bomb them. Shit. Yeah. All right, again. But, I mean, obviously with W, we're going into Iraq. And sure as fuck we did. We've talked about, we mentioned it before, Obama, he wasn't shy to use drone strikes. And Trump's just rattling swords at anybody who dares look at him cross-eyed.
Yeah,
I'm kind of surprised we haven't had an international incident bigger than we have in the last 2 years. And that's not a dare, Trump.
He's like those old school. He's like those old school bullies that would just walk around the high school hallways and just like look at people and then like jump at them, but not do anything. Yeah, and then just keep walking. Right. That's Trump.
Trump's not even having. He's not even having good success with his trade war, which was supposed to be the thing that he was good at.
Yeah, there was a quote about him. He was giving us a speech about China, and he goes, things are starting to look good with China and blah, blah, blah. But remember, if they start to go bad, I believe in tariffs.
But he's a tariff man?
I'm like, so what the fuck does that?
Doesn't mean anything.
Exactly.
He talks about tariffs. He says, there's going to be all these tariffs on Chinese goods, and Americans are going to make billions of dollars off of it. What what? No. Do you not understand how this fucking works?
We're gonna spend
we pay the tariffs.
Dummy.
Right? Tariffs are a tax.
iPhones are already super expensive. Don't make them more expensive. Come on, Trump.
Yeah, I'm Aaron. I'm with you. You said it perfectly. When I'm like, what is it? You're like, it means nothing. It's him talking to hear himself talk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's literally what it is. He's like the guy that you find yourself in the bathroom with, splitting an 8-ball with at 3 a.m. You know, he's just like, oh, dude, all right, cool. I guess we're going to talk about this as long as you keep the Coke flowing. All right, can I get my line now? All right, what were you saying? I'm sorry, Trump, what were you saying?
Oh, yeah. MASH is the greatest TV show ever. Continue. More cocaine, please.
And he thinks he's enlightening you with, like, you know that MASH was on the air for 12 years in the real world and it lasted 3? Yeah, wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You should go on Jeopardy, Trump. No, you totally win. You'd win bigly.
You'd win so big. You'd win bigger than Ken Jennings.
I have answers. I have the best answers.
Just yells fake news at Alex Trebek when he gets wrong answers.
You know what? Fuck it. We already kind of got the door open to Trump. I really want to get your guys' opinion on this because I see this posted by the Trump supporters that I'm friends with every once in a while. It's a variation on a theme. It's usually a meme, and it'll say like, women's unemployment, lowest in 65 years. African American unemployment, lowest ever. Like all these things that they attribute to Trump. Gas prices, have fallen at a historically fast rate. News coverage of Trump, 90% negative. Is this what America has come to? And that's like the meme. And it's like, okay, first of all,
cite your sources for these numbers. We love to make up statistics in this country for some reason. That's like a new thing I'm noticing. My future mother-in-law does that. Mandy makes fun of her all the time. You're like, where are you getting these numbers? You just randomly know this statistic?
She pulls out a statistic, and you got to like grab it with a pair of tongs and wash it because it's covered in shit because it came out her ass.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Hold on, let me get this piece of corn off that's not digested. All right, yeah. No, it's just bullshit.
In this meme, there better be like an asterisk and an annotation next to every single fucking number.
Oh, easily. Most of them, no. I mean, every once in a while you'll see one that quotes something like, InfoWars as a source. And I'm like, okay, well, there you go.
Well, they are making the friggin' frogs gay.
Like, I really think these things are created just to piss off the people that, like, as Jimmy Dore says, he's a comedian and political commentary, whatever, does political commentary. He was on a podcast and he said something that I think's quite accurate. That for some reason, in certain people's, like, the lizard brain part of their head, when they hear the words or the name, Barack Obama, it triggers them into a frenzy. And on the opposite side, there's people that, their lizard brain gets triggered into a frenzy when they hear the name Donald Trump. And he's like, these, and I
what did he start doing, like Hulk Hogan with their hands shaking?
Yeah, like, oh, you can see they're getting their power up and shit. Yeah. They get stronger every time you say his name. Like they go Super Saiyan on you and shit. But I think to an extent, to take it a step further, that most of these things, these memes and shit that I've described that I see people post, I don't even think they believe it. I think they just want to see people get pissed off by it. Like I don't even know if they believe it really, like truly believe it. Gun to their head would go, no, I believe everything that meme says. I think they just want to piss people off. Like that is the end result.
They're going to rise out of everybody.
Well, I mean, because let's be honest, if everything was as great as these memes say, then we're being duped. That's all there is to it. Then every time someone gets up there and starts dismissing all these great things that Trump has brought about to focus on grabbing by the pussy, then we're suckers. So, I mean, it's either...
These memes bringing up anything about the stock market? Not been the greatest last 2 months.
Well, didn't it just take like an 800-point dive?
There's money missing.
Well, that was
a few days.
That was because of his. He came out and said, "Oh, we've reached a deal with China," and stock market shot up. And then people started to find out that no, actually, didn't reach a deal with China. Yeah. Like somebody said in China said something to Trump about, "Yeah, let's work on this. Yeah, let's do that." And he turned around, told it to the American people, even though his advisor were like, don't go announcing anything yet until we have this, have some concrete, like in writing, something that we can show.
And he said, got it. I'm making an announcement first thing in the morning.
Right. And then he immediately tweets it out. But yeah, as soon as they found out that there was nothing to this deal, that there was no deal being made, these are just things that are being thrown out and considered. And the stock market went right back down below where it was prior to the jump.
Well, yeah, just because I pulled up the last example I saw. It says consumer confidence 17-year high, jobs created 4 million, women's unemployment 65-year low, African American unemployment lowest ever, news coverage of President Trump 90% negative, and that's from draintheswamp.com. I'm sure that they are
it sounds
not
like
biased whatsoever.
It's like a fair and neutral organization.
Right. But they pick all the statistics that continue to go up regardless of who's president.
And of course, in the comments,
Right.
it says, but Obama said he did all that. See, that's the person that, like, they just want to go, oh, I can't stand that Negro, but they won't say it on social media because they use their real name. And then, like, bravest president ever. He is the greatest American and the greatest American president. God bless him always. Just and they like, hey, mister, your ass knows right from wrong for our country. Thank you. That's all one sentence.
All he's done
no
really
punctuation.
is he has appointed a Supreme Court justice. In the grand scheme of things, what has actually been accomplished as far as where did these people get the time to make these signs? Like that's fuck.
I mean, because I don't have these moments very often, but like sometimes I think, are we all being duped? Are we all so fucking triggered by that we can't, because we don't like this man as a human being, as a person, that we're ignoring all these things, these great things that he's doing? I mean, and I'm not just when I say us, I'm not just talking literally us. I'm talking like us, the media, everyone who dislikes Trump. I mean, because if that's the case, then there is no hope for us. Because even when someone does something good for us, we don't care. You're not on the right team.
Well, I guess if you believe that the economy is the core of what drives and keeps this country together, then maybe that would mean something. But honestly, even if the stock market was going up, even if he had like solid plans to make this country more successful, and it doesn't matter.
It doesn't
matter. He does. No, I know he doesn't have a plan, but I'm saying that even if he did, it wouldn't matter to me. The things that he's doing are not only probably criminal, and we're probably going to find that out soon enough, but they're definitely anti-American.
What are you talking about? It's a solid plan. It fits on a hat. Yeah, he's the most wonderful president ever. I'm like sitting there thinking, like, who? Like looking behind, like, you talking about somebody else? Like, is this your love letter to Mike Pence?
Well, anytime I hear someone say, Obama was the most divisive president ever. Okay, well, was that because he wanted to be the most divisive president ever? That he set out to do that? That he woke up every morning saying, how can I piss off the people that don't like me? How can I make them hate me more?
I think he understood that being a black president is going to be divisive in and of itself.
Yes.
By the way,
he'd have to work to overcome that.
By the way, something he had no control over. Now, when I hear people say Trump's the most divisive president ever, yeah, I've read his tweets from 3 a.m. He's trying to piss people off. He's trying to get people angry at him so he can go, ha ha ha, whatever, still your president.
Yeah, I mean, at least past presidents made at least tried to put out an image of, like, I'm a uniter, not a divider, right? I mean, Bush Jr.'s presidency was very divisive, but at least he had some lip service.
Yeah, but the thing about Obama is he was unintentionally divisive. He could just show up and be black, and half the room could be pissed off at him.
Nerve.
But see, to me, that's something
Look at him being black and free. Oh, we're letting him be president now?
That's not him being divisive. That's people having a problem with something he can't control.
Right.
It's not like he was floating around in the spirit realm and went, "Hey, when my parents fuck, could you make sure I come out black?
No, I
'Cause I want to
understand
piss
that.
some people off."
He didn't come out at the inauguration to say it loud, "I'm black and I'm proud."
No, I'm just
He
saying.
didn't come out with like the afro pick with the black power fist in the back of his hair, like the revolution is being televised, son.
But I guess that's what.
Oh, white America, you done fucked up now.
It's Vengeance Day, nigga. What's up?
Yeah, like his first State of the Union was like, "Oh shit, you done fucked up now, America."
You don't even want to see how much we barbecuing on the East Lawn. It's
Yeah.
off the hook, son.
Yeah, that's right. I buried a pig in that bitch. What you gonna do, America? And you paid for it.
But you would think, according to certain people, that's exactly what he did.
No, but I guess my point is it's like that X divisive factor. Like he was just divisive in some parts of the country, no matter what. Just like I said, just showing up and being black. It had no control over it. It just happened. You know, and Trump is perhaps setting out to do it on purpose. No matter where I go, someone's going to have an opinion about me, good or bad.
But unlike
Donnie John.
Obama, I never saw or heard Obama. I mean, I don't know the man personally. Maybe behind the scenes, he's like, "Man, this is fucked up how many people are pissed off by the simple fact that I'm black. Like, I can't believe this is happening to me."
Oh, no, he spoke openly about that.
But he wasn't. He never based it like, "Why is this happening to me?"
No.
Trump is always like, "Why is this happening to?" Remember,
right?
I have taken more heat than any American president ever, and I was like, "Okay, how many have been assassinated?" Right there. That's your goal.
Talk about taking heat.
Yeah.
Can we get you in Dallas in a car with no top?
Yeah.
In Dealey Plaza, okay, and then we'll see how much heat you take, asshole.
Both are strategies, right? For being going out of his way to try to be a uniter was a strategy for Obama because he realized that was he didn't want to be the first black president and be a one-term president.
Yeah, America, you're going to take this twice.
Right. He was going to make it stick. And for Trump, it's strategy because that's the only thing. Being divisive is the only thing that's going to save his ass.
Yeah, because that's really all he has going for him. He's almost we talked about this in 2016 quite a bit. It's like I'm not Obama. I'm not Hillary. Maybe 2015 when he first declared. Like that was kind of like, okay, is that what he's going to run on? And then he went off the rails, and it went all over the place. And I remember every time something happened, we'd go, "That's it. There's no way he can survive this." And really, fuck John Gotti. The real Teflon Don is in the White House.
Yeah. I mean, remember we sat here and we eulogized his campaign when Grab 'em by the Pussy was going on. We're like, well, thanks for playing, buddy.
Hey, our long national nightmare may be over, though. I think they finally got him. The story, housekeeper at Trump's New Jersey golf club is undocumented. This is the New York Times, right?
No.
We got him, baby.
I would almost be like let down if he didn't have undocumented workers working for him.
Here is our president and media's relationship right now. Oh, yeah? Yeah. Oh, yeah? Yeah. Like they just go back and forth.
The two guys flipping each other off from across the street.
Yeah.
You guys see that video?
Yes.
Yeah, dude. That is very apt.
Which, are you either one of those guys? Like, honestly, if somebody flipped me off, maybe I'd give them their bird back, but most likely I'd be like, yeah, okay. Like, it means absolutely nothing to me. Like, every middle finger had to be, like, immediately replied with another middle finger. Like, I don't know. I don't understand that.
It's a lot of it's a lot of energy you're wasting on someone who's going to be far away from you in about 30 seconds.
I think I'm more of I wouldn't bother to flip him off. I'd just like, eat a bag of baby dicks, motherfucker. That's right. Keep walking and flip me off. That's all you good for. That's all you going to do, too. That's pretty much how I handle it. That'd be the end of it. Because what's the point of it's like flipping people off in traffic. I've seen that, like where people are waving their fist at each other. If you are that mad, just pull over and get it over with. Oh, that's right, because you're a chicken shit. You don't want to get your ass beat. So you ain't going to do shit. So sit in your little fucking car and flip people off like you're Billy Badass.
You're telling me that when people flip you off when you're driving, you don't go, oh my God, I've been driving like an asshole.
I need to pull over and reassess how I'm driving.
You know what that finger does? That finger guarantees I'm about to drive like an asshole.
I need to consult the Secretary of State's website and make sure I'm driving properly. Thank you, citizen.
I'm a little more mellow than that. I like just get as far. Anybody does anything out of the ordinary, weird, I'm as far away from that vehicle as I can possibly get.
It all depends on the situation. If it's somebody who it seems like they're oblivious to their surroundings, absolutely. Someone who appears drunk, someone whose face is buried in the phone, doing 75 on 96, which is slow, but you know what I'm saying, like something like that. Yeah. I either want to put a lot of distance between them in front of me or behind me, preferably in front of me. That way I can see what they're doing, and if they wreck, I can avoid it. Instead of them plowing into my ass doing 75 because they didn't see the brake lights. But, I mean, if there's a situation where someone's fucking with me, I don't do it anymore because I'm like 41. Mm-hmm. But at 21, I've stood on my brakes.
Oh, yeah, I've done some stupid shit, yes.
You know, I've let go of the wheel and let the car drift into their lane and be like, I don't give a shit. It's an 83 Grand Prix. I don't even have an exhaust on this motherfucker. That's a caddy. Who's winning in this situation? You know, like, and watch him get the fuck over or slow down or speed up. But that's when I was young and dumb, and I wasn't.
Your deductible costs more than my car. Have fun.
Exactly. Yeah, you have to rent a car, keep going to your job, deal with your insurance costs going up. I got to come up with another $200, and I got this car replaced. All right, so It's not that big of a loss for me, buddy. But that is, it's now, no, it's like most of the time I laugh.
Yeah.
Like I kind of think it's funny.
Like when people get really mad.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, you're having a day.
Yeah.
Like I almost want to pull up and like, here's the cape. Now you can be super mad. Or fucking fuck off. You know, but it's I don't know. Maybe it's because I do drive very defensively, and I tend to drive, as my friends say, you drive like a grandma. And that's what I go, how many times has your license been suspended due to how many points?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can shut the fuck up.
Right. I drive like because I do too. I drive like I'm very much drive the speed limit, obey the laws, don't get pulled over, don't fuck with anyone. And what's the consequence? It's like, oh yeah, I know. I'm constantly late to everything. No, it doesn't happen. There are no consequences. I get to where I'm going on time, accident-free, and not pulled over, and don't drive like an asshole.
Yeah. And I think that just comes with maturity that some people just never, ever develop. Because I have friends to this day, I get in the car with them, and I'm like, you sure you don't want me to drive? And they're like, Rich, you've been drinking. I'm like, yeah, I know, but are you sure you don't want me to drive? Like, I'm still a better driver than you when you're bone sober.
But, you know, I think I keep myself extremely aware of all the vehicles around me. And you don't have to even be on the road long to understand. It's kind of like a body language. Even though you don't see the person's body, you can kind of tell when somebody's going to make a move, even if they're not going to use their turn signal to do so. And you can tell who's the more aggressive and crazy drivers and stay away from them.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I can tell you if someone, I can't tell you if they're drunk or if they're just finger fucking their phone or they're high or whatever, but I can tell you someone's completely distracted, and I avoid them like, I don't know, like a dumpster full of needles behind an AIDS clinic. Get the fuck out of here. I don't want nothing to do with them.
I think a lot of people, in lieu of that awareness of their surroundings, they just butt up against somebody in front of them and follow them, right? Which is how you get into these rear-ending people. But I see that by practice a lot. That I just have to assume that's just I don't even think that that's an aggressive move for most people. Like, sure, there's the guy who like tailgates you on the freeway because he wants you to get the fuck over. But I'm talking about fucking, driving down side streets and somebody's got to be right on your ass. It's not because they are going to go any faster. It's like if I change lanes, they're just going to get behind somebody else and follow them.
I'm to the point where, especially if I'm looking for an address down a side street, and I have one of those people that just have to put if they could slip a piece of paper between my rear bumper and their front bumper, it's too much space between us. I just pull over and let them go past me. Just go.
Yeah.
Because there's two things that are going to happen. There's either going to be an accident or there's going to be the person behind me. If they're that irrational, when I get where I'm going, they're going to be the type of person that's going to try to confront me. And at that point, anything can happen. It's just easier just to just go, dude, go.
Yeah.
And I can see them coming, especially at night. You can see them coming a mile away because you just see two headlights doing 55 at you in a 25 mile per hour zone. And you're just like, I just pull over, just like go. I'm not even going to fuck with you. I hope there's a cop up there, and I hope you fucking lose your license for life, cocksucker.
With my car, I've had to kind of adjust my driving with it a little bit. I was explaining to you guys off air, but it's got this kind of manual clutch that's computer controlled, right? So I don't have to actually shift it, but it basically shifts like a manual. And because of this, it even warns you to like not do the inching up at lights and stuff like that. I guess you'll kind of throw the computer off. You want to give it steady data of like how you drive, and it'll adjust to that. But one thing I've learned with this vehicle is that I can't, if I'm in a lineup at a light, right, as soon as the light changes, everyone starts inching forward. If I do that and don't give it enough gas, it's going to start slipping and it's going to shudder a little bit. So I let like a full car length build up in front of me before I start to go anywhere. Because inevitably, like, especially if you're like fourth or fifth in line, it's not going to be a steady flow out of the gate, right? Somebody's going to like jump the gun a little bit. You're going to get behind them. They have to put on their brakes. Now you're braking. And that's even worse. Then I step on the gas and then it's really going to shudder. So I've had to naturally just let, like I said, just a car's length. Let that car get a car's length in front of me, then I give it gas and start going. And I get beeped at all the time. I'm talking about like a second. People behind me are like, think that I'm asleep or something.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've noticed that's something in like the last, like maybe 10, 15 years. I've noticed impatience has gone up. Like the minute that light turns green, you better damn near be at like, the speed limit.
Yeah. I'll give you like 3 seconds. If you're first in line at that light and it changes green, I'll count to 3 and then I'll give you the 2 short toots, very friendly. Like, they're
looking friendly, down at the one going, sorry, after each one.
Right. I don't know. Bitching about driving like an old man. But
when you do a lot of it, though, it really does let you know that people are not grounded in reality. They think they are safer and almost entitled to do things that other people aren't just by virtue of them drawing breath on this planet. Because I see people put other people's lives in danger behind the wheel every day. And with no regard for their own safety, let alone anyone else's around them. I mean, in the summer, it's the worst. You see these motherfuckers on these crotch rockets doing, 130 in between lanes when there's a traffic jam. And I'm like, all it's got to take is for one person to try to jump from one lane to the other, and you're done, dude. You're done. The best you can hope for is a quick, instant death. That's it. You're not recovering. Excuse me. You're not recovering from that crash. And it blows my mind. It really does. I mean, I don't get it. Like, you are not invincible. And I mean, if you know me, I don't live my life like I think I'm going to live forever. I live like I think I'm going to die like in the next 2 seconds. But I'm not trying to be an asshole and take other people with me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if I was one of those people that bought a gun to kill myself, I would just kill myself. I wouldn't go kill other people and then kill myself. That doesn't make sense. But
yeah, I mean, I've done some really dumb shit with like dirt bikes and four-wheelers and shit like that, like off-road, and probably done shit that could have killed me if it went wrong. But you couldn't get me on a motorcycle out on the freeway. I'm trusting my life to all these fucking assholes that I see do dumb shit day in and day out.
I've always wanted to learn to ride a motorcycle, and my problem is other people.
Yeah, where am I going to ride that motorcycle? Like, right? If I was my dad and he lives out in not really the country, but close enough, he can't see his neighbor for the trees. Let's put it that way. And he's got plenty of twisty roads that he can take his hog out on. He wiped out on his Harley and fucked up his hip pretty bad, but it was just his own stupidity, but there's no way he doesn't we're getting on the freeway and traveling cross country on the hog. Like, no fucking way.
Well, even Hunter S. Thompson with his crazy ass wrote about his favorite time to ride was in the middle of the night when no one else was around.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because then if he fucks up and it ends up costing him in his life, it's on him, I mean, I totally agree with you guys. My dad owned motorcycles all his adult life. When I was a little kid, he used to put me on the gas tank and cruise around the back streets, up near our neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I was older, I got a little helmet, and he taught me okay, hold on. And he taught me how to, safely ride in the back and et cetera, et cetera. But even he got to the point where he's like, nope. Especially once people started buying SUVs and trucks more. Because for some reason, once people get in those things, they think they are fucking Iron Man.
Yeah.
Like in the Hulkbuster armor, Iron Man.
And that's I think a huge reason for the popularity for these vehicles is people think they're safer in them and therefore drive more erratic.
Yeah. No, I absolutely agree with you. You want to find out just how vulnerable you are, but you don't want to get on a motorcycle? Buy a Neon. Okay?
Buy a smart car.
Mm-hmm. Go find an old Geo Metro, and cruise around in one of those things and tell me how safe you think you are. And what's worse is, if you live in an area like we're in Michigan, obviously, so we get snow. You get these idiots who have these trucks. They have no weight in the ass end, but somehow they still think that they're in a snowcat or something.
Right.
I can stop on a dime. And I'm like, no, idiot. I had a GMC S15. All it was GMC's version of a Chrysler or Chevy S10. It just reskinned, literally. That's all it was.
Yeah.
And when I brought it from Florida, when I moved up back to Michigan the first time, the first winter, after losing control of that vehicle twice, I went to the grocery store, bought 50-pound bags of cheap cat litter, put them on the wheel well just so I had some traction back there. And I had friends who were who grew up, learned to drive here. I grew up in Michigan, but I learned to drive and got my first license in Florida. So I didn't even see snow for almost the first year I was driving. It took me 2 weeks of driving in snow to figure that out. I have friends that learn to drive in snow were older than me going, why'd you do that? And I'm like, because I'm not retarded like you. Because I can figure out, simple physics.
Oh, look, he's painting. Sorry. Let's call back to W.
But yeah, exactly. But no, and I see it. See it all the time on the roads, man. And what I love is these people with these the mini SUVs. They look tough, but that someone would fart on them too hard, they'd crumple into a ball real quick.
Yeah, they think that that's part of the justification of why they got that vehicle, right? I live in Michigan and I got to drive in the snow sometime. Okay, but this is just a taller car with maybe a little bit wider wheelbase. There's nothing truck-like about your little SUV.
Exactly. So
it's the Geo Tracker in 2018.
God, those things were such a piece of shit. I had a job working security. That was our security vehicle. And I was like, seriously? What am I supposed to do if I spot someone doing a crime in this thing? If I run them over? Yeah, if I get out and I back it up a few times and let it go, I might reach 5 miles per hour. I'm like, if I run them over, I'm gonna total the car and maybe bruise them. And if they get into a car and start driving away at a moderate speed, I'm not catching them. So, the fuck is the point of this thing? It's not even an intimidating looking vehicle. Like, it's not like a big truck or something where, it might be a Dodge Ram, but it's a, 4-cylinder Dodge Ram, but it looks like, a security truck. No, it was a Geo. This thing was a fucking joke, man.
Wait, you didn't have like a turbo button? They didn't get the supercharged version for you?
No. In fact, the one that I remember the best is it was a 4-cylinder and only 3 of the cylinders would fire. So, yeah, you had fun on that one.
It was cheaper than the golf cart, so that's what you got.
Yeah, because Geo's trying to get... Remember Geo in general? Did what? The Tracker, the Storm? What was that? End of list?
Prism.
Oh, yeah, the Prism.
Well, yeah, is that the one that was shaped like an egg? The little compact car? Because my former sister-in-law had one. She's like, I think it's great mileage. And I'm like, yeah, until you hit a pothole and it folds up into 5 different fucking pieces. Yeah. It looks like a piece of origami.
If you get in an accident with it, you're going to fucking be dead. You don't have any metal around you. You're sitting in a crumple zone.
Well, I remember when the H2s first come out, the Hummer 2s, the scaled down version of the Hummer. Someone found a picture of one that had been in an accident, and they captioned it with the H2. Well, at least it looks tough because this thing was just accordion. And if you ever drove an original Hummer like the military or police use, those things were built to take a fucking beating.
My old singer, his brother bought an actual old H1 like from the military. Dude, you riding that thing? You'd be like, what?
Yeah.
Huh? Like that's how loud the engine is.
You had a doghouse, like in a tractor trailer, like in a big truck between the passenger seat. And
there's no radio. You laugh at the radio. Ha! You couldn't hear no radio in there.
If you want to have a conversation, the person was so far away and the engine was so loud, you had to send smoke signals to each other from other sides of the vehicle.
Like that's a fucking Hummer.
Yeah, that you want to drive like you're driving a mini tank. Okay, you're an asshole for doing so, but at least you can back it up a little bit. You get in these pretty SUVs, that they put H2 or H3 on. No, it's like a BB gun that looks like a real gun. It's not going to do anything to you. It just gets you in trouble with the cops. That's about it. Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah, those things that was the most shocking thing. First time I got into a real Hummer was starting it up and driving it. I was like, holy shit, how much hearing loss have I suffered in the last 10 minutes of driving this thing?
So the thing do I need a CDL to drive this thing?
Well, what's scary is if you get the military ones are usually even more stripped down. So the road noise is even worse. Like we had ones that were made for, this is when I was handling the GM media fleet, that were made to loan out to like police departments and stuff like that. So, there was a lot of aftermarket stuff done to them. And it still was loud as fuck. So rolling around in those things, the way the military has them, I can't imagine. I
just remember just being in this Hummer, I just remember it was just engine noise. The end. Like if you put the radio on, you could hear that the radio was on. But
you couldn't make out the song.
Correct. Like that's how loud the engine was. So that's how I remember it.
Yeah, those were definitely like that's a 90s car. Like what the fuck were people thinking trying to buy that for daily use?
It's America. Bigger, it's better. The 90s were like the bigger is better decade.
This is the extreme SUV.
Big tits, big cars.
I don't.
Big interns.
You ain't got to shit on big tits all that much necessarily.
I'm not shitting on big tits. 90s was definitely like the rise of big tits.
The tit jobs went mainstream in the 90s. Jesus Christ. We started off talking about a dead president.
Yeah. Now we're on titties.
I'm not shitting on big tits. Like, you sure?
Some people are into it.
Yeah, I heard your girl's a freak.
Yeah. Well, we do get into Germany. I do see the downloads.
Oh, so does that mean we have to have a very special scat episode? No. and just get quotes from the South Park movie? What the fuck's wrong with German people, dude? Shit.
A very special scat episode. I think you just named it.
Very special. One for the whole family. Viewer discretion is advised. Well, I did want to bring up one other thing. That it's in the video game world. It's a trend that's been happening more and more often, but it's really started to take off in the last couple of years, which is video game companies. And we're talking like AAA video game companies, not in small indie video game makers, will take a franchise, in this case the Fallout franchise, and the company that got hold of it is Bethesda, and they got the rights to it, and they released Fallout 3, which was a good game, and then they released what they call DLC, downloadable content, which is like add-ons to the games. And their excuse for doing that was, this was, by the way, in like 2008, so you still had a good portion of gamers who didn't have high-speed internet. Online gaming was just taking off for consoles. Mm-hmm. So what they were trying to do is kind of ease people into the, like, we'll give you episodic content and stretch the life of the game out instead of like 6 months to a year and a half. And a lot of people would criticize them and said, well, if you had this content, why didn't you just release it with the game? And that's like, okay, that's a fair enough thing to say, but I get what also the game companies were trying to do. Now it's turned into, like with the latest Fallout game, Fallout 76, first of all, to get access to the beta, the demo of the game, you had to pre-order it, which isn't that big of a deal. You go to a GameStop or whatever, you put your $5 down, they give you a code, right. You go home, put it in, boom. Well, it was a beta. And if you know what a beta is, they purposely release them, and then they analyze the statistics and what happened.
It's for testing playing purposes, the beta. Finding the bugs.
Exactly. And, so it was a buggy beta, but you kind of expected that.
Yeah.
Then, about 3 weeks later, the game comes out. I go pick up my physical copy. I put it in. It was roughly a 50 gig game. So it, had to install. And then once it installed, it had a 53 gig day one patch that I had to wait to install. A patch that was bigger than the actual game. And I'm like, okay, I will wait 2-3 hours. I can, I'm not a 5-year-old kid who's, I have to have it now. I can wait 2-3 hours to play the game while this downloads, whatever. So it downloads, I start playing it, and I start realizing, wow, there are quests that I can't finish. Go do this, go to this location, and I go to that location, and it gives me the marker for the quest, and I just can't do what it asked me to do. So I hop online, and I'm like, what am I doing wrong? And I find out that everybody's having this problem.
Really?
And that this is a game that was released broken to the point where you can't progress in the game past a certain point until they release a patch to fix it. And I'm going, they had a patch bigger than the goddamn game was on day one. Right. That didn't take care of this? So,
or it was a harbinger of things to come.
So it was like a week or two later, and they release another patch. Okay, well, that fixed that problem. Well, as you progress, there's you start off at level 1, and the cap level right now is 100. So as you go, you get farther into the game, and it opens up more and more content. Boom, I run into the same thing again, and I had to wait like 3-4 days for another patch to come out to fix it, so I could just progress to the next level and keep playing the game. And I'm like,
we're not even talking about additional content. We're talking about just having a fully functioning game.
The core game is broken on release, yeah.
Right.
And they're fixing it as it goes.
And you're not running into this with this is like, I don't even know is it like a campaign? What would you call it? It's probably like most games now. There's like a main storyline, and you can branch off.
Yeah, and there's like side quests and stuff. It's essentially it's an online shared world role playing game that you could either play with friends in a small party, or you could play alone. You just have to level grind to make up for the lack of party members. So when you meet some bosses, the problem is you can't even level grind because the game is broke.
Right.
So what happens? What people would think would happen? People start reviewing the game, and they take exception with this. And to give you an example of how sales were, like Fallout 4 broke sales records. I think it did over like $1 billion in sales in the first like 2-3 months it was released. Now that was the previous Fallout game. Sales dropped 80% for this next one.
Damn.
And in the company and the gaming industry that reviews and like Kotaku or whatever, these sites that review games and pump them up and get people worked up for them and shit. Instead of saying, yeah, we fucked up, we released a broken game, sorry about that, they started attacking the reviews, saying, well, these are like Russian bot reviews. This isn't a real review. We're being they call it being review bombed.
Fake reviews.
Yes.
All these reviews are fake that you're reading. News. You are fake reviews.
Exactly. And then somehow, which I have no idea how this happened, because if you remember 4 years ago, the Gamergate thing was going on. Gamergate got drug up into this, and people who were writing negative reviews of Fallout 76 are now somehow misogynistic, women-hating Gamergaters.
Of course.
And I'm like, wait a minute. No one mentioned anything about anyone's gender, sexuality, social justice, nothing at all. They just said, fuck you for making me pay $60 for a broken game. Like, if you knew the game was broke, release it at a later date. Or release it at a lower price, or give people something to make up for the fact that you sold them a broken game. Because then the inevitable started happening. People started trying to return the game to places they had bought it from. And if you know anything about gaming, you open a game, the only thing they'll do is exchange it for that same game. They're not going to give you store credit. They're not going to give you your money back. But people would start going back to GameStop or Best Buy or wherever the fuck they bought the game, trying to return it. And they were like, we can't do that. We can exchange it for another, a new copy. And they're like, I don't want a new copy. This game's broke. It's bullshit. Give me my money back. And they're like, we can't do that. It's against store policy. And so all the internet videos of people flipping out. And one guy totally destroyed a GameStop on his way out the door. Like, was ripping shit down and knocking over stuff. Fuck you, motherfucker. And then walked out. And it was funny because the guy behind the counter is just sitting there with this blank look on his face, and the phone rings in the middle of it, and he picks it up and he goes, thank you for calling GameStop. This is Brian. Please hold. And the guy's just tearing up the GameStop in the background. Like, he's just like, yep, this is my job. This is what I put up with now. And I'm just sitting here going, have we reached to the point where there is no more customer service, where it is okay for a company to release a product they know is broken, and then when people dare say, hey, your product's broken, they start attacking their own customers? And that's like a sound business policy in their mind? Because to me, that's the exact opposite of retaining customers and gaining new customers. That's how to destroy your company 101. But the problem is that these major companies like EA, Bethesda, BioWare, this is now happening so often, it's become the norm. People get excited about a new game coming out, and of course, it comes out, well, you have to wait for, 2-3 months until they fix it via patches over the internet.
That's insane. I mean, this is video gaming, as we've often heard in recent years. This is an industry that's surpassing any other form of entertainment,
including porn.
Yeah. I mean these games are selling bigger than most movies. They're making more money than most movies out there. Could you imagine if they tried to release, like, Marvel was like, oh, we got Avengers 4 is out on release date, but it's not quite finished yet. You're watching the movie and you see fucking Andy Serkis show up in a green suit with foam balls on his face. Like,
that's exactly what I'm saying. Like,
trust me, this is gonna look really cool in a couple months when it comes out on DVD.
And by the way, you have to come back and pay again to get it. You know what I'm saying? Or
when you buy it again.
Yeah.
because all these games are littered with microtransactions. And the microtransactions, see, what the gaming industry was doing was they implemented or tried to implement a pay-to-win scheme, to where if you don't want to grind out the game and get the best weapons, the best armor, the best whatever, you can just pay us like $25.
Right.
Mm-hmm. We'll give you $25 in-game currency. You can buy these things.
Which is something that was kind of huge with games like World of Warcraft. It was just done offline. Like, people were doing that privately. Pay me directly and I'll grind out your character for you for 8 hours. And give you experience points and all that shit. And essentially they're just cutting out the middleman, saying, whoa, wait a minute. That's our money.
And Rich,
yeah, exactly.
And in answer to your question, at this point, yeah, the companies are to that point because, quite honestly, I mean, you bring up the microtransactions. As long as the subscriptions are on auto renew, they don't give a fuck.
Well, that's exactly, and I mean now it's like, okay, they have microtransactions. Like the microtransactions in Fallout 76 are, as far as I can tell, strictly cosmetic, and they have what they call daily.
But that sells.
I know. Well, thank you, Fortnite and PUBG and all that shit.
Right.
Yeah.
All you have to do is make this character's got a jacket that you can buy for him, and they're all 200 credits except for the blue one, which is 800 credits. So everyone buys the blue one because it's like having a fucking iPhone or fucking Gucci glasses or something. Like, it's a status symbol.
Exactly. Yeah. And I mean, to get their in-game credit, they call atoms, ATOM, like splitting an atom.
Right.
And now, if you pre-ordered, they gave you 500 atoms for free, and it's like, woohoo! First of all, I don't buy cosmetic shit. I don't get into that. But like, I went into the store and looked, and it was like, you can buy a hat for your guy for 400 atoms. But if you want like anything else, it's like 1,800 up. And so I just went, this is bullshit. I don't even care about that. I just want to play the fucking game. Can I just do that? And the answer is no, not yet. They're still working on it. It's been released for a month. I'm awaiting it's literally now like this. I await next week's patch because I've reached the point I can't progress anymore.
Just to the point they just released a bunch of patches. Well, like the title screen comes out on a day and then they just keep releasing patches.
And
sounds like a blast.
Like, that's the thing. To compare it to movies again, you go see Avengers 4 and you really like it. Like, you are ride or die for that movie. Okay, so you go and you see it twice in the theater, right? So there's $20. And then you buy the DVD. There's like $20-$30 or the Blu-ray or whatever, Okay, so you got $50 and, maybe a percentage of that actually went to the studio too. And with a video game, but you're paying $60 for a game, average. What's downloadable content? At least $20-$30 usually?
What they do is it's usually $20 per piece of content, or you can pay like $40 for a season pass, so it ends up saving you like $10-$15 overall.
Right. Okay, so let's say you're going to be into the game, you buy the season pass. So you're at $100 now.
Mm-hmm.
You're $100 into this game to get like essentially the full game, but then factor in what they're spending on if the game offers that, which many do now. The ability to buy shit for your character. I mean, what do you figure the average person is spending on those things?
I would figure the average person probably drops, like for the cosmetic shit.
Yeah. Or just any of the microtransactions.
Out of curiosity and or, wow, that looks really cool, I want that, I'm going to break my rule and go buy it, I would say maybe like another $20-$30 over the life of the game in-game currency. They would spend real money to get that that much real money to get in-game currency.
Right. So, the average... Okay, so the average user is spending $130 on playing a video game. Now, there's also you watch Avengers 4 and however the fuck long it is, we're still only talking about 10 hours of your life for the 3 times that you watched it, right?
Mm-hmm.
At most. There's a lot of time invested in playing the video. Playing a full campaign of any video game these days is going to be, what do you think, 10, 20 hours at least? Just for the main story?
Oh, at least. Especially the open world games, where there's a lot of side quests and other things you can do. To complete them, I mean, I think when Skyrim come out, they said to complete everything in Skyrim. Now, this is a game that came out in 2011, by the way. To complete everything in Skyrim, I think they said it would take you, like, the average gamer between 80 to 100 hours. I know people who still play it on their computers and haven't completed everything in it because there's just so much side shit to get lost in, And, I mean, they're having a great time doing it. And they're it's not an everyday game. It's a game like some people might put down for a couple of weeks and then they have, 2 days off and there's nothing to do. They have nothing scheduled. So they spend a better part of those 2 days playing that game and then they leave it alone for another, 2-3 weeks, a month, whatever. And I mean, that's cool, whatever. Enjoy your entertainment however you want to enjoy it. But I mean,
I always thought Skyrim was a Mile High Club for first class.
For tossing salad in first class. But
bold move.
But yeah, get you kicked off the plane. Don't ask me how I know that.
Depends on how you do it too.
Well, the pilot didn't appreciate it. That's all I'm saying.
I never knew a plane could come to a jerking stop in the air.
And I told
he didn't appreciate it, but he was too drunk to make it stop.
I told the flight attendant, if you're not going to serve meals anymore, this is what I'm going to have to eat. All right,
Yeah.
So bend over and spread them, baby.
I told you I was hungry.
Oh, I only eat organic.
Is this free range, asshole? I just want to make sure. Cruelty free? All right. You don't use baby wipes on it? But no, I mean, you're absolutely right. Like you're getting to like, between $130 and $150 for a game.
Yeah.
And I swear it's irritating and it's broke. But when some of these games are so ambitious, I get it. They have these deadlines that they set like years out. Like we're going to release it. They'll go to like E3 or whatever, and they'll say, in 3 years, we're releasing this game. And they literally have hundreds of people working like 12-hour days, 2 shifts, 7 days a week to get this game out by that time. If a few of the mechanics are flawed, as long as they fix it in a timely manner, I'll put up with that. But to release a broken game, then start attacking people who dare call you on it, then somehow through the gaming media, which is corrupt as fuck, because all of the big gaming media basically just when you see a game come out and they give it like an 8.5, it's probably a below average game, and that's 8.5 out of 10. But because they can't bite the hand that feeds them, aka the gaming companies, they have to play the game. Like literally and figuratively, they have to, oh, well, it's got its flaws, but overall it's a good experience. When you start seeing like 9.8, 9.9, like with Red Dead Redemption 2, the Spider-Man game, et cetera, those games, I believe those ratings. But also because I read the user reviews. I take all the professional reviews with a grain of salt, and I go read the user reviews. And if they're like, yes, this game is good, there's a few little bugs here or there. Sometimes you'll glitch through a wall, but it's not game breaking. It's just annoying. Fine, I'll accept that.
You brought up briefly the people who work on this, and that's starting to become more of a factor. I don't know how much it is for your average game player, but for example, when the Spider-Man game came out, everyone seems to love it. I haven't played it yet, but like, it looks cool as fuck, and nobody's got any beef about that game really. And one of the people who worked on it came out publicly and said, this is great that everyone is like just blown away by this thing that I had a little bit of a part in. One of hundreds of people, probably thousands that work on a game at that level. But, he put his part into it. but that person couldn't enjoy the moment because they felt like they were broken. What it took to get that game out on time made them never want to work in video games ever again.
Oh yeah, that's one of those stories behind the scenes that every once in a while I'll find an article about. The burnout rate is pretty high.
They drive these guys. I mean, and they're getting probably still single, early 20s coders that are just gonna, if you didn't give them a job designing a game, they'd just sit in front of a computer and drink Monster all day anyway.
Yeah,
but they drive them to the point where, some of these people are just physically and mentally exhausted.
Yeah, when you start hearing about people in their 20s who work for these companies who are having health issues because case in point, between Red Dead Redemption and Red Dead Redemption 2 was 8 years. And Rockstar is the company that released it. And if you don't know, Rockstar does Grand Theft Auto. Even if you don't play games, I'm sure you've heard of that series.
Yeah.
These are extremely immersive worlds. These are worlds where you can literally just walk down the street and listen to people have conversations, and they have different conversations.
If you ride your horse through the water, its dick gets smaller.
Yeah, I was about to say that the detail in Red Dead Redemption 2 is when you ride your horse to a
they put shrinkage in for the horses.
Yes, when you ride it into a colder part of the map, its balls shrink visibly. I mean, yeah. but I mean, the amount of hours put in. There's apparently speed. Any type of speed abuse is off the charts. Burnout is ridiculously high. Overtime is forget it. They're put on salaries and they're worked 120 hours a week. Essentially they have 8 hours off, and probably 2-3 days a week they're just sleeping at the office. They wake up and go back to work. It's only once their clothes start to really stink do they finally go home and change. And if you're high enough up and you're doing this stuff, you probably have a way to just live at the office almost basically. I mean, I've read,
or even that. I mean, they're probably all running 24/7. In those crunch weeks anyway.
But I mean, so I take all that into consideration. I'm not one of these people I demand perfection the minute it's released. I get it. But to attack your customers and then to start accuse them of being some part of some alt-right group that is trying to tear down the gaming industry because a woman, her name was in the credits. And I mean, I swear I've read the user reviews. I've went to different sites where users have been here's the bug I ran into, people run into it. The closest they get is to anything sexist or racist would be they're a bunch of bitch-ass motherfuckers at Bethesda for releasing this broken of a game. And only by the thinnest of connections could you take that statement and say, oh, that statement somehow sexist because they use the word bitch in it. Because we all know that they're just saying they're a bunch of assholes for releasing a broken game. They're not calling women bitches, nothing like that. But I mean, that's just it blows my mind. And it sucks because it makes me leery of buying games now. Aaron, we were talking about this a few weeks ago off the air. I wait for games to drop in price, not only because it's cheaper, but usually
more stable.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. By the time they drop in price, they've worked out most of the bugs. Yeah. I fell for the hype because I love the Fallout franchise. I love the story of the Fallout franchise, so I bought it day one. And here's the beauty of the attitude you get from some people. Well, that's what you get for wearing that dress. That's their attitude. Right. You knew what was going to happen if you drank that much at the frat house. So shut up and walk it off.
Yeah, I kind of see both sides of as a fan of comic books. I like buying monthly comics, floppies as some call them, or periodicals, because I like reading them when they're out, because I read a lot about comic books. I don't want stuff spoiled for me. Whereas a video game, I'm going to wait a whole year and buy it for $50 used with all the DLCs included.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just, I don't need to be like playing that immediately and sharing in that kind of global conversation, essentially, that that fandom around the product. It's just your level of involvement in it.
Yeah, and I mean and
I can understand wanting to like buy the game, play it that when everybody else is. I mean, I work with a bunch of fucking guys that may as well be coders. They're just doing design work, and every week they're all talking about whatever new video game that everyone's playing.
Well, yeah, and that's also the shared experience of it. You know, I mean, I totally missed out on the whole Fortnite PUBG thing. You know, I would go to work and everybody's talking about, oh, have you played it started off, have you played PUBG? And I said, no, I'm not really into the whole battle royale, every man for themselves, 100 people on a map type thing. It just doesn't. I'd rather work as a group against either the computer or another group of people. That appeals to me more. That's all.
Having only seen PUBG on Twitter, I swear to God, there were months that went by where I thought it was a rapper. I swear to God.
Get PUBG's new joint. It's his duet. It's his collab with Little Xans. But then Fortnite came out, and I saw it, and the graphics are very cartoony. Mm-hmm. It's like day glow colors. They implemented like on the fly crafting into real time combat, and I was just like, first of all, when I play a game and I have to like craft stuff, I'm like, ugh, all right, do I have to do it to progress in the game? Okay, I'll do it, and I just do it as quick as possible and get it over with. So it didn't appeal to me, but I totally missed the boat on it, because for months at work, anytime video games come up, unless you were talking about those two video games, they looked at you like you just walked into a Disney movie jerking off with your thumb up your ass. Like, they looked at you like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I'm like, I'm not into those games. So I get the shared experience thing, mm-hmm. But I mean...
But games like Fortnite, that's all they have, right? I mean, there is no plot there.
Damn it. No. Fucking loop.
Fuck you, motherfucker.
I'm saying that's you talking about I gotta craft shit.
Oh, I thought you were trying to talk shit. But yeah, why don't you man up, throw some of your hobbies out, and we'll talk about how boring your shit is.
Yeah.
Ooh, I watched the Law and Order fucking marathon. Oh, slow down, Turbo. You're having too much fun.
In a hobby, that's a way of life.
But yeah, that's exactly it. That's all they are. And if you're into it, great, wonderful. If you're not, there's nothing there for you. It's just there's nothing else to do in that game. It's not like there's a story. And I mean, in a lot of like the shooters, the first person shooters that back in the day, like Chris, even when you would play Call of Duty, they had campaigns you could play plus multiplayer. A lot of those games have just given up the pretense of even having a campaign. It's strictly an online game. You buy it, and the only way you can play it is to play online against other people. That's it.
Yeah, it's your portal to the online game.
And I mean,
I'm telling you, man, 5G is going to kill the PlayStation and the Xbox.
Well, that's the other thing, is they're really trying to move away from people buying physical copies, because they're pissed off they don't get any back end on the secondary market.
Yep.
They want people to buy, case in point, I was talking about Todd with this. Todd is a huge baseball fan, so every year he buys the newest baseball game for PlayStation. And he'll pre-order it, and like a week before the game comes out, you can pre-download the game. They just don't unlock it until like midnight of the night of release. And it's, it's cool if that's what you want to do, but sometimes I just want to be able to pop a game in and play it and not have to go and constantly upgrade my hard drives on consoles. Like, if I wanted to go through constantly upgrading something to play a game, I would be a PC gamer. Like, I literally have I have an aftermarket 3 terabyte hard drive in my PS3, and I have a total of 5 terabytes between an external hard drive and the internal hard drive.
Thank you. If you didn't do it, I was.
Both of y'all can gag on dicks until you die. My point was, it's not like I was like, I'm going to do that and be ooh on the podcast. My point was, I had to do that because these fucking games are so big and they're constantly releasing patches and et cetera, et cetera. And it's like, if that's the future of gaming, what the fuck? And that's when you said, well, 5G, you just be able to stream the games. And I've tried PlayStation's game streaming service where you don't have to download anything, you just stream it from them. And you better have amazing internet because it sucks. Well, then when I started looking into 5G, I was like, oh, I get it now. Okay, yeah, it's gonna basically eliminate almost the need for a console. Like it's going to be to that point.
I don't think people understand like how much of a step up that's going to be, because we've seen.
I was reading about it this week.
In internet speeds and data speeds through satellites and all that. The difference is step up to 5G. It's like if the plumber came in and replaced all your pipes with those like huge concrete sewer pipes that they bury in the ground. Like all your pipes are that big. That's the difference.
As fast as 4G LTE is, it's going to be 10 times as fast from what I was reading. Like it's going to laugh at a wire. Like, ha, you're on an Ethernet cable? I laugh at your puny Ethernet cable. At your girly cable.
Well, and there's two factors. There's the increase in speed and technology, and on the other side, there's the increase in compression technology. So the amount of data that they have to even send to do something like online gaming is a fraction of what it used to be.
But they still have that 18-lane highway to deal with instead of just a 4-lane one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's reading. Because if I wouldn't say I'm like a hardcore gamer because I don't game on every console and own like every console from Atari 2600 forward. Like those are the hardcore gamers. That is their life/hobby, and that's cool. I mean, if that's what you want to do, musicians collect gear, they collect gaming stuff, no problem. But in the realm of gamers, it's constantly, what is the new Xbox going to be? What is the PlayStation 5 going to be? And you always see these, well, not always, probably about once every 3-4 months, a really good fake video will get released, and it'll start convincing people that this is like, oh, this is a leaked thing from Sony or Microsoft. And then eventually you're looking at it and you're going, no, not really. It's more likely what it's going to be. It's going to be a quote-unquote console that's probably smaller than the Switch that just routes the information to your TV with a wireless controller that does wireless charging whenever you're not playing it. Right. And you just literally stream all the games. You never own a physical copy or a downloaded copy of the game. You just you buy the right to use the game.
That's short term. I think not soon after that, though, it's really going to be the question of what is companies like Microsoft and Sony's involvement in video gaming at all when it gets to the point where somebody's going to eventually release a game that you pay $100, you buy a controller that links through Wi-Fi, through 5G, so you can control your character, and the video is shot directly to your TV, and you don't even need a console. Right, and then Microsoft, Sony, nobody has to make any hardware for you to play that game. Just so they have to have a standard controller with their chip in it, made in China.
Well, I think PlayStation got in the TV business when this console thing's going to end soon.
Well, Steam.
Well, that's part of. I think they're definitely aware that this is a possibility, so they want to give you more reasons to hang on to the console. Oh, I can do this and that with it. I can shop. I can watch TV. I can masturbate. I don't know.
Sometimes all three at once.
Yeah. What's it say with View? You don't need the console. I'm saying we'll get into the TV service business because this portal to the internet thing's going to dry up pretty quickly.
Oh, and to what you're saying, for a while there were TVs that came equipped for PlayStation streaming game service, to where all you had to do was pay for it, and you would stream the games directly to your television. No console needed whatsoever. But the problem is, like I said, unless you have a bomb-ass internet connection, the shit's choppy, it's laggy, it's a pain in the ass. And so they kind of phase that out, probably because they're looking to perfect it. And when 5G becomes the norm, then something like that will be, a viable option, not just something for like the techie nerds that want to be on the cutting edge. But what I was going to say is Steam has something called the Steam Machine. And Steam is like a site you go and you buy your games through, and through their client, you play the games that you've bought. And all it was just basically a receiver, and you set it up in your house, and you could stream games from your PC to that receiver to any television that was internet equipped in your house, and you just had a controller you bought, and it was, like you said, Aaron, literally a controller that Steam made, had a chip, so it worked with their stuff.
Well, there you go.
And I mean, the problem is that most people just aren't willing or are incapable of putting the amount of money into it to make it to where everyone can have it. It's just like when when flat screen TVs come out, and then smart TVs come out. It's 4 figures for one. Give it 3 years.
Oh yeah.
It'll be down to like $300-400. And then, a couple years after that, you can go get a flat screen TV that's not a smart TV for probably $100 right now. And I'm talking like a 32-inch or bigger, easily, And if you want a smart one, you can probably get one on the low end for $200, maybe $250. So
what was it? 10 years ago, 3D was going to be the hot shit.
I forgot how it's like 48 or 50 inch or something like that. It's a smart TV, and it was $300, and it's a Samsung. It's not like some off-brand.
Yeah,
I bought it on sale, but it was regular like $400.
Yeah, exactly. If you're a frugal shopper,
but if I could have bought a TV like this or similar to this, 5 years ago, and paid easily over $1,500 for it.
Oh, definitely, big time. Because I remember when the last birthday I was with the ex-wife. She was like, I want to buy you a high-def flat-screen TV. And I was like, okay. And she's like, so do you trust me? And I'm like, sure, yeah. And she came back, and it was like a 27-inch, and it was the Best Buy brand, and I think she paid like $500-600 for it. And like, I thought it was the shit when I hooked it up, but then like 6 months later, I went to my buddy's house, and he's like, look what I got for like $300. And it's a TV that takes up half his wall. And I'm like, that's some bullshit. Mm-hmm. Oh, fuck. I should have went with her. God damn it. That's what I get for sending her to do something I should have done. Shit. Now I know how she feels when she's like, do the dishes. You're doing them wrong. Fuck. All right. But yeah, it's another thing they're doing, which is, it's weird because even just 3-4 years ago, you would see physical copies of games, maybe a month or two out from the release date, that they would do like buy one, get one half off. Mm-hmm. So you because they're wanting to push the physical copies. And this would be the retailers doing these sales, not the game companies themselves. Now the game companies, they caught on to that, and like it just happened. I bought a hockey game that had been out for 4 weeks. I got it for half price, but I had to buy a digital copy and download it from PlayStation themselves. But I'm like, if I'm going to save $30 or more, okay, I don't need the box and all the case candy that comes with it. Because, I mean, ultimately, even though I do like to have a physical copy as a backup, in case my hard drive fucks up or something, I don't have to spend all that time downloading everything again. I can just pop it in and install it. If I'm going to pay half the price of a physical copy, why the fuck would I pay for a physical copy? It just doesn't make sense. But I mean, it's all because game companies have figured out through mobile gaming that microtransactions people fall for. And I know, especially
they watch people the makers of Candy Crush make way more money than a lot of games for the consoles that came out.
Exactly.
And we're doing something wrong.
And that's when they started really marketing, and they found out that a lot of mobile gamers are non-console or PC gamers or women who just aren't into the console or PC gaming, whole culture. Mm-hmm. And the microtransactions are, you've ran out of lives. Would you like to buy 5 more for 99 cents? Well, that sounds like a bargain, 99 cents, but you keep adding it up and adding it up and adding it up. And next thing you know, a game that costs hardly anything to put together and put out has made 5,000 times its cost to put out there.
Right. It's like the storylines all over again. It's like 99 cents a minute. That seems cheap. You just listen to a 20-minute story 3 times this week.
Yeah.
Your parents' phone bills up.
Like, dial 976 evil and hear a scary story, and you get like 2 minutes. Call tomorrow for part 2. And you get away with it for a month until the first phone bill comes, and then you get beat with a fucking plugged-in curling iron because it's like $400.
Yeah, there was a choose your own adventure one that I had called without my parents' permission.
Mine was the Bill and Ted Bill and Ted line.
And was it even Keanu Reeves and the other guy, or was it bad imitations of?
No, it was somebody like telling little like vignettes. Not even stuff from the movie. God, like they went on like
George
little
Carlin, I would pay for that now.
Yeah, I think he was part of the line. But yeah, they told like little vignettes, like they were.
It shows up talking really slow. Hello, this is Rufus. Party on, dudes.
Be excellent to each other. Why are you talking like Christopher Walken?
to be excellent to each other, press
1. Yeah. To party on, press 8.
Yeah. Ultimately, it's nothing new under the sun. It's just a new spin on an old tactic. It's like the serials that would come out before movies back in way back in the day, like the Flash Gordon serials and stuff. Like even, if you want to see what happens, you have to come to the new movie it's going to be in front of next weekend.
Right.
But it is a pretty sad commentary on what consumers are willing to put up with and have no choice but to put up with if they want to have get into a certain form of entertainment, because the attitude really is like, it's like, the only gas company in your area sends you a $600 bill and you go, how the fuck is it $600? And they go, oh, well, I'm not paying it. Okay, well, who's your second choice for gas company in your area? There's nobody. Well, you better shut the fuck up and pay me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good point, because I wonder, the video game market is growing because you're having, more people who grew up with video games, getting jobs and being able to have more expendable money to throw around on these things. But it's not growing, I think, because I don't think it's doing so because it's widening its audience, like appealing to more people. It's continuing to be insular. It's just growing with the population. Whereas with movie, especially to use Marvel as the example, they're figuring out ways to widen that audience, right? They're making more money off of these Marvel films because they've widened their audience. And I just wonder how sustainable this is for these types of console games that get really popular.
Well, there has been a backlash that's starting to affect the bottom line. And it's more towards a certain company, which is EA, Electronic Arts, because EA really, we've talked about it on the show before with their Star Wars Battlefield game. They had the loot boxes, which was before they once they got threatened with like the government stepping in, because they were like, this is damn close to online gambling, and now we want our cut. Yeah. That's when they were like, okay, we're going to stop. And that's the only reason it stopped. Don't think it stopped because people were complaining. It was only when the government stepped in and it did stop. But, they have a series. Their version of Call of Duty is called Battlefield. And I bought, not the last one that came out, but the one before it. And I enjoyed it. I played the game, was like, okay, cool. And there was all the, excuse me, Hey, do you want to spend $20 on in-game currency so you can have a pink rifle in the middle of a battle during World War I? No. And I don't want like a teal uniform in a World War I game either, so no, I'm not going to spend that money. Well, they started doing the, what do you call it? The pay to win on the sneaky side. Like instead of it just being a new skin for your rifle or a new skin for your uniform, it gives you this boost. And you can't get it through playing the game. You have to spend the money. And once that leaked out, people were like, we're not buying this fucking game. We're just not doing it. And the sales have went down enough to where EA is like, oh shit, this is one of our tentpole games that we release once every 2 years like clockwork that keeps a lot of people employed, and we're not even selling half of what we were projected to. And I mean that's something when you got a game that's a sequel to a game that sold in the billions that has only selling 20% of what the previous game did at that same point after release.
Yeah, there's some jobs being lost over that.
Yeah, I got to imagine some people are being told, would you mind coming to your office or going to
for the last time?
And here's a box. You have 5 minutes to get your shit before security.
Step into my office because you're fucking fired.
Yeah, come to my office. Bring all your shit.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm working at Bethesda or EA and there's a drop off on a game that I was in charge of like that, the minute I walked in the office, I'd start looking for plastic on the ground. Be like, yeah, I'm about to get Joe Pesci'd here. They're like, oof. They're gonna be like, bam, yep, next. Who wants his job? Because I can't imagine the hit that the Bethesda's taken. And here's the real bitch of it is if they would slow the release rate, which sucks because you can't count on every 2-3 years getting that big influx of money. But if they would slow the release rate between games like Rockstar does, 5 to 8 years between Grand Theft Auto games, 5 to 8 years between Red Dead Redemption games, but the games come out and they do what they fucking are advertised to do.
Yeah.
They would still make gobs of money. I mean, gobs of money. Grand Theft Auto came out in 2013. The open world online ability to play that game still generates millions upon millions of dollars to this day for them. Mm-hmm. And people buying in-game currency. They just don't want to grind. And it's like, you can have your cake and eat it too. You just can't fuck the customers over, and then when they call you on it, go, fuck you. You should have known better. Because eventually people will get sick of it. And it sucks because if you're a fan of these franchises, and the companies are running these franchises into the ground, these games are going to go away. And,
yeah, but it's a very competitive market. I mean, some of these game publishers are going to go away, but I think that's probably going to be for the best ultimately. You're going to have, a new crop of companies that will take that place.
Well, you also get a lot
learn some of the lessons.
You also get a lot of what happened like with Enron. Enron's name became shit at one point, so they changed their name to WorldCom.
Right.
And the average dumb person was like, oh, this is a new company. You get a lot of people like BioWare put out, games like Mass Effect and Knights of the Old Republic. The last Mass Effect game was a complete fucking failure from launch. They charged for a season pass for downloadable content that they never produced. I still don't know how they're not in court being sued with a class action lawsuit on that one. Must have been in the fine print somewhere. But BioWare took such a hit that another company came in, bought the company, just so they could get the rights to their intellectual property, and then just said, yeah, BioWare's under our umbrella. But really all it is they put it in the corner, very small print, a BioWare game or something like that. It's really under the umbrella of this bigger company that buys it. And usually the bigger companies are the ones that are guilty of the worst transgressions when it comes to this type of shit.
Xfinity. We know
that's exactly what I was thinking.
We know who you are.
Thank goodness I added Xfinity here because I hated dealing with Comcast.
Yeah.
And keep your government hands off my Medicare.
Yeah. So this is a part where I remind everybody, hey, we're on the social media. Or Twitter, at Unregimented Pod. New shows every Saturday. If you want to drop us an email, you can unregimented at ChristopherMedia.net. And yeah, getting close to the end of the year. So who the fuck knows what's on deck? But until then, we'll see you next week.
See ya.
Later, guys.
If you like this show, please tell a friend. Please follow us on Twitter and like and share us on Facebook by searching for Christopher Media. You can subscribe to all ChristopherMedia.net shows for free on ChristopherMedia.net. Please make sure to rate and comment on all your favorite Christopher Media shows. Thank you in advance for supporting Christopher Media by clicking on the PayPal button and by clicking through to all the sponsors who support ChristopherMedia.net. Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net, and thank you for listening. Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Me, but also you. The Pharaoh fast forwards his favorite foreign film, Powder Donut. Okay, what's my line?
The only line I see here on the script is get options based on your budget with the name your price tool from Progressive.
Oh man, that's a tongue twister, huh? I'm sorry, I'm gonna need a few more minutes. Bulbous Walrus, the Bulbous Walrus.
The name your price tool, only from Progressive.
The owl ran afoul of the comatose coxswain.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
I'm an aficionado.
I'm a sneakerhead.
I'm a foodie.
Gamer.
I'm a gym rat.
There are many names for enthusiast.
A fashionista.
But there's only one way to become one. By going all in. The new Lexus IS is our obsession. Relentlessly engineered and designed to be the most responsive IS ever. It's what we call going all in on the sports sedan. The new 2021 Lexus IS. Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer. Click the banner to discover more.